All right, I guess now's as good a time as any. Whew. Yeah, I'm angry. Turn this down a bit. I've had to like calm myself. Maybe we should turn off this background, or how do we like this background? I've been pacing, so I had to like cover the screen so that I could still think. I almost didn't even want to come on. Some of the things I'm going to say are going to piss people off. I'm not sure who. I mean, I think I have an idea of who. Is my audio fucked? Let me see. Are we good here? I saw audio. Oh, I gotta. Maybe turn this down. How's that? Are we better now? Let's. I don't want to get in the way of what I'm saying here, but I wanted to have that fucking music on. Why not? I'm not trying to make money off this. But I'm gonna assume it's okay. So anyway, where was I? What I'm gonna say I think is gonna piss some people off. And well, let's start. The last 48 hours of this chase has changed my thoughts tremendously. Let's start with Dale. Dale released yesterday the fishing logs of Marvin Fenn. Whether you believe the fishing solve is real, whether you believe in 9 Mile Hole or the Madison or Yellowstone, what I don't believe for a second, and frankly, I giggled, and Dale said that he had received this fishing log much earlier in the chase by a family member. I can only assume that to be Creighton. And that then he received it again from Forrest much later. Doesn't say if it's before or after the chase ended. I don't care, frankly. Forrest tells him, his own words, mind you, Forrest tells him, you can do whatever you want with this. And he says, well, I thought there was too much personal information. Let's get rid of the music. I thought there was too much personal information in the fishing logs and decided not to share. But then, of course, now has reapproached this and has gone, you know, okay, I guess there's not as much personal information as I thought. Now we can release this. Dale. Unless you were asked to keep it quiet, then say so. Let's just say what this is, man. You were in a treasure hunt. And despite being crowned the person who is the sole communicator between, you know, Fenn and the outside world, and I'm not putting that on you. I'm just saying that's what happened. You were in a treasure hunt still. You wanted to find this treasure, and at all costs, I would assume it, you know, up to a moral reasoning. If you got a hold of these fishing logs, just say you wanted to hold on to these fishing logs because you thought they were pertinent to the solve, man. This is nonsense. Stop talking to us like we're children. And that's the theme of everything that I'm mad about today. We are all being talked to like children. So we have Dale in the fishing log and his silence on it. Now, listen, I have no problem if he's a searcher and he has a piece of information that's going to help him find the chest. That's fine, man. I think we all would agree with why you would hold on to that. Don't act like you're holier than thou now, dude. Just say what it was. It makes everybody start thinking other things, that you're involved, that you're up to something, that you're part of the conspiracy. And all these conspiracy theories that get rattled off are based in some way, shape, or form logic, because you're not telling the truth here again. Then we have a whole other problem with the chase, and that's the email that Pam says that she received on accident from the family. I don't know if that's from Fenn, the family, whomever, but I've watched video of her speaking about this topic. I agree, she seems very believable. It seems as if she won't share that email for the reason she states. I made a promise, and that's it. If I make a promise, I stick to it. Okay. Then why are we even talking about it now? Like why is it? I mean, I appreciate this getting brought up. I'm not coming after you on that. I'm not at all. My gripe is actually not with you, Pam. I'm happy for you. I'm just asking if this accidental email were sent in 2019 at the same time that we now have context for Jack showing up in Santa Fe in April of 2019, then Jack back in Yellowstone in October of 2019 when you said you got this email. Then we have Dale, magically releasing now at the end that he received emails from Fenn on purpose talking about ending the chase. And then we have at the same time, let's take a second here. At the same time that Pam is getting an email accidentally about what's going to be written in the Medium article, we're basically having Jack search in October. We're also having Dale about to get an email in a month or two from Fenn saying, my family and I have been talking, we're thinking of ending the chase. So talking about ending of the chase is happening before December, like October. So again, we're being lied to. Bullshit is abound, and it is becoming silly not to point out and smell the bullshit here. Smell the sunshine. I might rename this channel to Smell the Bullshit. It's time. And that means it's also time for this community to come together. And that's everybody. K-Pro and Candy acted like they hated each other 48 hours ago for whatever reasons. You know what? They figured out, they got back together. Now they're good. The whole damn community needs to do this. From me to Greg to Barb. I don't even talk about Barb. To Street, I had Bill on the other day. We need to all start coming together. And it's not news to me, Goldilocks. It's just that it's adding up. And then the actions of the people involved are starting now to seriously piss me off. The leak of this topic of the planned Medium article coming through Pam, and now Dale dropping the fishing log, which, by the way, I have read as much of the fishing log as I could this morning and into this afternoon. So I've been diving deep into that fishing log, and my God, guys, we're going to go over that a little later after I'm done ranting. But I took screen caps of some stuff. I mean, Marvin Fenn talks about putting in at certain fishing holes. Like it's the fishing log certainly seems to give you the vernacular that Fenn is using in the poem. But again, that doesn't mean it's in Yellowstone. That doesn't mean it's on the Madison. It just means we don't know what's going on. And Luli, I see why you got deleted there. You just called K-Pro #1 liar. Don't just jump to that. You might have issues with K-Pro, but let's not call out and out liars. There's been a lot of usages of different ways to describe people in this chase community, and I feel like sometimes people lie, sometimes they don't. That doesn't make them a liar. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'd like us to come together here. So no fighting, no putting Luli in timeout. We'll just delete that comment and move the fuck on. Nobody blocking. This is the time where we have to start thinking together. So let's stop thinking about ourselves. That's what's getting in the way. I have a sneaking suspicion that some of the brutal truth seekers won't come together with us, maybe because they're focused on New Mexico and they think anybody not focused on New Mexico or distracted by Yellowstone is somehow bought, paid, or brainwashed, and we're not. So it's time for both sides to put down their fucking weapons, because we're getting talked to like children, and I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. The lies have mounted up. It's one lie after another. Now, again, when those lies happen earlier on to me, to someone on an outsider, it doesn't mean as much. I have to see these lies start to pile up to start to make a good deduction of what's going on. So I'm not going to maybe make it as soon as some of you guys think. But that doesn't mean I'm not paying attention. That doesn't mean I'm not jotting every single thing down that happens in this chase and looking at it and trying to find a perspective that makes sense when you look at it from a bird's eye point of view. Well, I'm done looking at it from a bird's eye point of view. Something the fuck is up. And the family might be involved. I don't want to put them in the spotlight, but Shiloh showing up to K-Pro's feed when they were first getting into the nitty gritty and toying with the audience and telling the audience to move on, but then toying with the audience. No, you don't do that. That action is incongruous with your requests. So it's game on. That doesn't mean anything wrong. I'm not going to be showing up to people's houses or anything like that. All I'm looking for is the fucking truth. And if I have to keep doing this stupid YouTube shit until we get it, fine. If you want to offer it to me offline, fine. It's coming out one way or the other. Control the message through me. This is my fucking public plea. I will round up this whole community. I will get this community together, and we will just take you the fuck down by sheer force. Or you can just tell me now and we can skip the bullshit. But I'm sick of it. Too many people are being led astray in too many different directions. And it goes beyond just to the chase community. There are people in this community getting fucked with single-handedly by the powers that be. Single-handedly. Mike and K-Pro are two good examples of people getting fucked with. The people are lying about them. The people are toying with them, trying to make it look like they're part of some grand conspiracy with the once you investigate the Wyoming LLC, you find out it's not Mike and K-Pro, but someone's fucking with them on purpose. Why? There are other searchers in this community who believe they're on a fucking path that leads them to a treasure that's still out there because specifically Fenn led them down that path. There are a multitude of those people. Why? Why are the biggest liars popping up at the end? Why am I getting a call from Sheridan, Wyoming right now? Why the fuck am I getting a call from Sheridan, Wyoming right now? Why? Something's going on, people. Hello.
Hi, this is Nick with Wyoming LLC Attorney.com and Crowd Peak Law Group returning a message for Ben.
Hi, actually, you know what? This actually isn't a good time right now. Is it possible I can call this number back a little later in the day?
That's fine. I'll also send you an email with a little bit of general information too. But yeah, I'll just speak to you later then. Yeah.
That would be perfect.
All righty. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you. What a coincidence. He happened to call me. Now, if I had kept talking to him while we were live and didn't tell him that, I'm probably, I don't know, breaking some sort of law. So I had to get off the phone with him. So what the fuck is going on, people? It's time for us to come together. It's time for us to come together. Okay? No more fighting. No more talking about ourselves. It's not about that anymore. Something else is going on. When good people are starting to get fucked with, and it seems as if there's amusement on the other side, something is going on. If we're being forced to figure this shit out on our own, fine. But you know what? Somebody needs to fucking say something fast. It's getting out of hand. I don't know who this was on the phone, Carrie. Somebody from the Wyoming LLC attorney website. Because I'm fucking finding shit out. Don't act like there's some of you out there who think I don't do anything. I don't know why, but I do. We're going to find out what's happening. Again, to the powers that be. I will find out what's happening. I will not stop until we do. And I will bring this community together come hell or high water. Come hell or water high. So what's going on now? Indy, I'm not really looking at the chat. Hold on. Who's blocking Indy? What? No, if you have Indy blocked, unblock her. Everybody unblock everybody. Nothing's going to happen with us fighting and blocking each other. That's what these people want. Enough is enough. It's us against them. There's a game afoot, and it's us against them. It's a game. It's not where we don't do anything bad here. We're not doing anything wrong, but it's a game. It is very obvious we are all being fucked with. Nothing is as it seems. Boy, oh boy, truer words have never been spoken in this chase. And I'm not even done. We're just starting. Oh God, I hope I'm not the dog, the bounty hunter of this chase. Jeez. Dog, the big bag dog. Davi, I don't know what you're talking about overacting. I'm just fucking livid, dude. I don't know what to tell you. But the game is afoot. Something is going on. It's at a much different level than I thought it was. And Dale holding on to these logs. Thank you, Adam, for reminding me. Dale holding on to these logs are friggin' interesting. I don't know if you guys have started to look into it, but I have. I'll start picking out my pertinent screenshots here, and I'll screen share this. Just fun stuff too. Share screen. Hold on, let me make sure there's nothing bad. Okay, we're good here. All right, share. So anniversary, like fun stuff that corroborates things, you know what I mean? So anniversary, June 22nd, below car load at 7:30 p.m. Claire had 2 fish, lost several, gave the highs of water, gave the highs of what? See, that's probably why I highlighted. I don't know what this was. Gave the highs of what? 8 fish? I don't know. Let's see, like fun stuff. Anniversary, obviously June 22nd, and then so the logs are done in a specific way, in case you guys don't know. He puts the date at the top, and then he'll put the years all the way down the lines here. And so you can just see what year it was and what he did on that year. Our 28th anniversary. See, it's kind of cool the way he does it like that. Biddle, I don't know what, I think Biddle is a family. Where's Biddle? Yeah, to Madison at Slow Bend, Biddle, to Fire Hole at Car Load Hole, to Feather Lake and Fish Fry below. No fish, no hatch, mayflies are late. All that weird stuff. Browns. So he calls, okay, so he calls the brown trout brown all the time. 6 beautiful browns, a big brown, brown in that hole, all the time. It really feels like brown is home of brown, is really a fish after fucking all. I found this interesting. Colorado Springs on June 5th, 1947. Colorado Springs. Yeah, cute, right? I mean, doesn't mean Bub and I. So this is how he refers to Forrest. Is Bub or Bubba. That's it. He never calls Forrest anywhere in these logs. He only calls him Bub or Bubba. It's so strange. I don't know if I want to dive so deep into that yet. I gotta almost like calm my train of thought here a little bit before we get into that. But it's got some good stuff in these fishing logs, guys. Good stuff. Let's see. More nothing burgers. I mean, I didn't promise anything except for saying F this. We're done with being lied to and being treated like kids. And I want the community to come together. That means it's an open invitation to Greg. It's an open invitation to anybody out there. Shy guy, who are the ones that I don't talk? Granny, any of the people who talk shit to me, open invitation. We got to stop fighting. This is silly. We're adults. Let's act like adults. And that's not, we're all equal in our actions. I'm saying, let's all just get street. Let's all just come together and figure this out. That's all. Enough is enough. Don't we all just want to go live our lives and be done with this? Then you have to at least consider Dale was called out in one of the lawsuits and maybe the reason for the delay. Okay, then K-Pro, he can just say that. Why does he have to concoct a story of, well, I was given this fishing log early on in the chase, and then I was given them again by Forrest himself, and told me I could do anything I want with them, but I chose not to share them because I thought they had contained too much personal information. Why can't he just say, because of any kind of pending litigation, I could not share anything, or whatever the truth is? Cost me bong ribs. That's right, Nick. Okay, all right, Nick Spare. I gotta do some bong ribs. But yeah, like every not Tony, not 1 year, every year he calls him Bubba. Bubba or Bub. He's never called Forrest in this fishing log, ever. Who can spell hypocrite? Who's a hypocrite? I don't know who a hypocrite is, Madison Rat. We'd be thinking of smoking bowls. That's right. Let's smoke some more bowls. God, I'm angry. And Jack, you stop emailing the community, but then you secretly email K-Pro. What's up with that, playa? And K-Pro, I'm not divulging any secrets. You told people that, right? Like, that's no big secret. Like, he reached out to K-Pro. Why is he reaching out to K-Pro? Why is he talking about certain topics and ignoring other topics? And why are these topics that we're now learning about somehow overlapping with what's going on with his actions at that time? It's just all strange. It's all strange. All strange. Anyway, the poem, fishing. Let's get back to it. I agree. I have to like make the screen like this so I can at least see the chat. Like, it'll look weird for you guys so I can see the chat, but it makes it easier for me. This way I can answer some of your questions while I'm doing this. All right. If I do that, there we go. All right. Let's share the screen. You'll be chatting while looking at the chat of your own chat. That's interesting. All right. So, another thing right away. So Old Man Fenn uses the initials DF in these logs for didn't fish. Sometimes he'll say didn't fish, but sometimes he'll say DF. I just, remember page 99, JF. We always wonder what the JF means. Just Fenn, James Flint, Captain James Flint, just Fenn or whatever. I'm wondering if it means just fishing? Didn't fish, just fish, just fish. I don't know. Something fish with a J. I don't know. Maybe. Something I caught. Discovery hole, big browns. So we got, what is this? Don Hopkins. So he's logging what he did for the day. Of course, I didn't get the year in this. This is kind of annoying. I didn't do that. Discovery holes, which I like. 6 beautiful browns, 16 to 19 inches. Very good fishing in spite of the weather. June 13th, 1946. Bear and mosquito holes. So bear hole, mosquito hole. Sometimes he puts quotes over these, sometimes he doesn't. I think the quotes indicate that they are the nicknames that they have come up with, though. And these aren't actually what they're called. I'm not sure, though. I'm not sure. I gotta check everything, gosh. Candy, you don't have to delete you all are being manipulated. Let her say that. That's fine. How do I like? Well, whatever. That's fine. Whatever. The whole point is we should be talking. Okay, instead of saying we're being manipulated, say why. It's time we all start showing the goods. That's another thing that needs to be happening. June 5th, Bub. I think we just talked about this one, didn't we? Oh, I think I laughed. This one said Jack. Yeah, Jack. Jack and Dad. Jack and Dad. Cute, 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 cute. Oh, don't we have June 5th stuff? Oh, yeah, Colorado Springs was June 5th. That's why I found that important. June 5th, K-Pro mentions Colorado Springs. Isn't that cute? Isn't that precious? Cute. What's this? June 18th. June 18th. Oh, June's 18th birthday on June 24th, 1950. It's nice to get some corroboration, too, of little things. You just wonder if dates were made up or spun around a little bit. Rode around in our new Chevrolet, June 20th, 1948. Got a new GE refrigerator today. He really was. Now, there's an interesting change in handwriting, too. Some of this is this uppercase lettering, and then some of it is cursive. It's very interesting. Yeah, June 5th, right, K-Pro? I know, it's weird, right? June 12th, we got 9 Mile Hole. Now, this shows up a lot. I don't know why. I do have an idea of Home of Brown if it's as simple as we think, and you understand the vernacular that's being used by Dad, being taught to son. If it is this, I would say that Home of Brown is either the spot where the most brown trout are at once, or to fish, or where the biggest brown trout are. So I'm looking at where, like, I'm looking because he keeps track of like the sizes of the trout they're catching. And he even says, like, to a couple of them, he's going to mount them. So like, I'm looking for that to try to determine if that's how they call it home of brown. I'm wondering if home of brown is a nickname that Fenn gave for a nickname that Dad had already given to a spot that has no name. So you actually have to decrypt two people to understand home of brown. You have to understand the correct fishing hole that Dad that Dad wants us to put in below, because that's what Dad talks about in all these fishing logs, putting in below or above. And then Fenn is telling us, yeah, put in below home of brown. So Fenn's talking about home of brown because it's a spot his dad showed him, and his dad said, hey, there's a shit ton of brown trout here, son. Oh, that's the home of brown. It's very simple and logical. I hate it, but it's simple and logical. I still just find it interesting. He never calls him Forrest in any of these logs. It's always Bub or Bubba. I found this cute. He's listening to, it was this Rocky Marciano, I think. Listen to Marciano Charles fight. I guess I could have looked up who Charles was. June 17th, 1954. He was listening to a fucking boxing fight over at FF Bridge. Above FF Bridge. What the fuck is FF Bridge? Is that FF? Water still high. Look at that. Water still high. Saw no fish working. Something home. Home early and listened to Marciano. So we went home and listened to the boxing fight. It's fun. It's cute. I like it. And fuck yeah, togetherness. Who? Every plumber has a home problem. Marvin also says put in. Yeah, okay, so let's get to that. All right, so put in right here. Bob and something day. Barnes and I took float trip on Lower Madison, put in at Indian Creek at Red Bridge, came out at next bridge, put in at. The vernacular is clear. Put in below the home of brown is a term that fishers use, ladies and gentlemen, on the river. And it just so happens that Dad is talking about putting in on the Madison. What does it mean? I don't know. What could it mean? Everything. It's just nice to get the vernacular from Dad, because this is going to be the way Dad would speak in front of Fenn. That's important for us to know. The vernacular that Fenn is hearing as a kid, he's going to be hearing from his pops. So if Pops is saying he puts in at Indian Creek, Fenn's going to say, I put in at 9 Mile Hole. Whatever. I put in at Ojo Caliente, blah, 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 whatever. I put in at South Sentinel Creek. Sentinel Creek is talked about all the time in this thing, guys. Sentinel Creek is all over the place on this. Here's an interesting thing. August 22nd, Fenn's birthday. Important day to look up on this thing, I would say. Right, guys? Well, worked around the place, getting ready to go home in 1953, meaning they didn't do shit. Oh, okay. This is Fenn's birthday. 1954, Coney and I to Henry's Lake at Howak. Doesn't matter. It's not Forest. He doesn't spend 50. Now, again, it's 53 and 54. Why would he, right? To Wade Lake. It was Bub's 25th birthday. But again, he didn't see him on his 21st birthday. It's just interesting that he noted this was it was Fenn Forrest's 25th birthday. Still calls him Bub or Bubba at 25. And he went to Wade Lake. Now that's in Montana. It's gorgeous there though. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now what we could do is dig in a little deeper, and what we can do is go to the journal itself. I want to go to Fenn's birthday because I think that would be the most fun. So it would be. Is there anything else? Okay, so 1946, erased from existence, like Back to the Future. Didn't hang out with Forrest on Forrest's 16th birthday. That's weird. 1947. What did we do? What did we do on 1940? Did we go fishing? Did we go fishing to a magical spot? Maybe worked around the place. I can't read that word. Over for barbecue steaks. Super. No fishing with young son. They didn't talk about it. Maybe it's a secret. 1948, his 18th birthday. Bub's 18th birthday. Didn't fish today. Worked around the house. Planned camping trip to Elk beginning tomorrow. So not even on Forrest's birthday. What the fuck? Here's something that I've wondered. And guys, tell me if I'm crazy here. Don't answer that for realsies though. How do I do this? Let me stop sharing this for a second. Anybody who's read the fishing logs, you want to talk to me about the relationship you think Forrest had with his dad? Because I think it's a little iffy. It doesn't look like they hung out all that much. And like these logs on Fenn's birthday are rather dull. And like when I say dull, I mean dull. Like he talks more about getting a refrigerator with enthusiasm, I think, in the penmanship. It's just it's odd. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy, guys. But you tell me. So let me get back to screen sharing here. And again, every time I see something in this, it's like, Dale, dude, why didn't you share this? If your only reason for not sharing this was personal information, Forrest said you could do whatever you want with it, dude. Your words. All right, so we're in August 22nd. Let it sink in. Again, he's not talking about Fenn. On his 16th, his 17th birthday, he brings up it's his 18th birthday, but they didn't fish. Didn't fish again on Fenn's birthday when he was 19. Now, maybe he's not even there anymore, right? When he's 20, weighed in the, what does that say? Weighed in the PM, something, LM, Lower Madison. He waded in the Lower Madison on Fenn's birthday. 3-pound brown, 3-pound rainbow. Hard fishing. I mean, I don't know. It's weird though. Okay, so now this would be, what would this be? Fenn's 21st birthday. Let's see if they maybe had a cool 21st birthday trip, right? Fran, Bess, Bob, and John. Gosh, you know, this personal information, I really hope Fran, Bess, Bob, Ann, and John don't get doxxed. To the Windows pool, something fisherman, also boat fisher, me and there, to Little Windows pool. That sounds cool. Where's that? To Elk Lake, rainy. God, this dude gets fucked by the weather all the time. No strikes. Fish lower and upper ends. Spent night at Elk Lake. Wow. Well, didn't have a swing. Now again, Fenn could be, our Forrest could be gone at this point, right? Like he's out living life. So of course he's not going to have much with his son involved. But again, what strikes me is 16, 17, and 18. Odd. Unless, now again, remember, I think Fenn gave these to Dale. Let's ask a pertinent question here. Did what you receive, Dale, is what you received early on in the chase from another family member, does that match what you received from Fenn later on? I.e., which versions are these? Are these from Fenn, or are these from your first source, or are they actually the same? And that's fine, and it's not relevant. But I would like to know if maybe there's a difference, right? Wouldn't we want to know that? Did he erase shit? I mean, maybe there's something else missing. I don't know. It's odd. And again, I'm not, K-Pro, I hear you. I'm not trying to scold Dale, because I also said, what I'm scolding is the wording he himself is using right now. And let me show you. I'm not scolding the actions of this particular sharing. I love that he's sharing. Again, what I'm saying is the document was provided to me early in the chase by a family member. Now, I guess it's the same document we're looking at, so it must have been early in the chase. And then much later from Forrest. When Forrest provided it, he told me I could do anything I wanted with it. I hesitated about publishing it on the blog because it seemed to me some of the information was personal in nature. But Fenn said he could do anything he wants with it. Many folks I knew I had a copy of the journal and asked me to send it to them. I declined. Others asked me to post it. I declined for the reason mentioned above. This morning, I reread the journal and it seemed less personal than I remembered. This is frustrating, K-Pro. And Dale could easily clear this kind of stuff up. I'm not attacking him. I'm just questioning. And I hope he's seen enough of me. And if he's seen none of me probably, but show him I'm not going on some attack on him personally. But when things start adding up incorrectly, it's time to call it out. He can clear it up. Why is he releasing it now? Remember, this is the same person who released emails about the dude and the acquisition of the dude and the money investment into the dude. At the same time, we were boots on the ground at the dude, discussing about the investment into the dude only hours before into minutes before. We were talking about it for all day. So he just so happened to post that exact thing, almost word for word what we were saying at the time we were doing it, as we were doing it for a couple hours. So again, what are the timings of these drops? I'm allowed to question if all he does is post a drop and that's it, and he's not going to tell anybody anything, fine. But then I'm going to question when there's a vacuum, something's going to intercept, something's going to replace. Welcome to your replacement, ladies and gentlemen. I will speak for all of you silent witnesses, all of you who have the information and don't want to share it. You're just going to hear me from now on. And I'm going to be bringing the whole Chase community with me because it's time we stop fighting, and I won't stop until we do. We will all figure this out. We'll get together. I'll fly to every fucking part of this country and meet all the personalities one after another, shake hands and buy them a beer, and I'll make sure we all get together. Don't worry. Don't underestimate me. Anyway, Dale posted this, so I'm just saying. Anyway, let's go back. August 22nd, not much about Forrest ever, or I'm sorry, Bubba. Talked about his 25th birthday. That's good. 25th birthday. I mean, what, his insurance rates went down? Yay. Ben, did you read the entry? Put up trail cam in the woods below the honey hole and watch Bubba sleep under a tree at his favorite spot. Stuck in Chaselandia is saying this info is useless. I mean, you say it's useless. I say it's not. Who's right? Not me, but also not you. We just don't know yet, okay? Let's at least let the information come. We don't have to make judgment calls on what it is. I mean, it sounds like it supports a phishing solve. But again, why is this being released now? Crazy sauce, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy sauce. What's the last entry? Fenn would be 29, right? 5 bad. I got like an eyelash in my eye. 5 bad earthquake tremors during night. Oh, wow. 5 bad, didn't fish in 28. 5 bad earthquake tremors during night. Left week on 12 p.m. So 37,116 gas, 37, what? Something, a lot of gas. 420 gas, lunch. God, he wrote down more about his lunches than he did about any times where Fenn would be with him. And he talks about people's whereabouts all the time. So it's not like he doesn't. He talks about Lily, he talks about Skippy, he talks about June a lot more than he talks about Bubba. A lot more. Shenanigans abound, folks. Shenanigans abound. Let's not forget the fucking topic here. Something's going on at a level we didn't realize. And now innocent people are getting turned on each other for the behest and bemusement of others. And it's getting annoying. So, Houston, you have a problem. And that problem is me. I took a few days off, a week off, a couple weeks off. I'm more dedicated than ever now. There is something weird going on, and I'm going to have fun figuring it out. No matter where it takes me. I'm not married to shit. I'm not married to the 9 Mile. I like it. Makes logical sense. Just like I'm not married to my actual spot on the 9 Mile. A lot of people don't agree with my spot. I do, but whatever. Not married to it. I'm not even married to Wyoming anymore. How about that? Officially not married to Wyoming anymore. Every state is in play in this treasure hunt. Every state. It's more than likely in Wyoming, but every state is at play. What other dates do we want to go to? First one to type in a date. I'll go to that date. I'll go to June 5th while we're waiting. Thomas Conrad, nobody noticed me. I don't notice a lot of people, guys. You got to speak up if you want to be noticed, especially when chat's blowing by. All right, I want to go to June 5th, which I think would be in the first batch. Look at that cover, by the way. Where did I go? Oh, look at that. Marvin Fenn. I want to see the fishing log from 1930 to 1946. Give me that fishing log. And this must be Dale's handwriting. I don't care what his opinions are. No, that's not offense to him. That's just his thoughts. I can't figure out his thoughts without him. So skip all this stuff. Okay, so Packer Jack, that's a topic I want to cover as well. Sentinel Creek is all over these fishing logs. Sentinel Creek is everywhere in these fishing logs. It pops up probably more than anything else. So does the fire hole. Sentinel Creek talked about the most by Marvin Fenn. Has to be. He fished much more on Firehole and specifically at Sentinel Creek than he ever did on any parts of the Madison. I mean, that doesn't mean anything, but that's 100%. Yeah. June 2nd. June 10th. Jeepers. Let's try that. June 7th. Okay. June 6th. June 5th. Here we go. June 5th. Oh, Bub. Well, he talks about Bub. Bub and I, what is this? Something roof? Built roof? What do you think? I don't know. Sentinel Creek is off the fire hole, Carrie. If the log was important, it would have been in TTOTC, poem and map, if you couldn't follow. Nick, I completely agree with you, but everything is pointing to the idea that you needed more than just the poem and a map. That it was hypothetically solvable with just the poem and a map, but you'd never in a million years be able to solve it with just the poem and a map. Like technicalities like that mean nothing to me. If you needed more than the poem and a map, he should have said so, but it seems like you did, and he didn't say so. I think some quotes, he does say you need the book. So some quotes, I think he does say the book. I sound like an out of control lesbian. Holy shit, that's crazy. That's funny shit. No, don't delete that. That's, I mean, well, maybe that's disparaging to lesbians. Crazy. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, that's mean to lesbians, Jigsaw. Shut the fuck up. But it was funny about me. You're purposely putting everyone on a wild goose chase. I'm not putting everyone on a wild goose chase. I'm taking in the information as it comes in. I don't know if this is to be paid attention to or not. I really don't. I'm just taking it in. I'm not going to say no to it. He said, if you were serious about finding it, read the book. And that's just like, that's the perfect cop-out too. It's like such nonsense. Left, let's see the last one. I heard the last year the log was all about the Madison. Well, that's interesting. Let's see, 1960. Left Rock River, 4:30 a.m. Gas at Jeffrey City. Arrived West Yellowstone, 1:15 speedometer. Lily was sick. He got gas at Lander. I mean, that's 1960. That's the last year, isn't it? I don't think it went. So this doesn't talk about the Madison. K-Pro, Nomadic Madman's asking, K-Pro, someone has been messing with you from the time you entered the chase? Nomadic, not, K-Pro says, Nomadic, not sure, but from 2018 on. Someone's been fucking, okay. Luli, again, if you have issues with K-Pro, it's time to squash them. Put the childish things aside. We're trying to get back together. Everybody, and that includes you, Luli. We're trying to, this is the only way we jump over these assholes in the power. I call them assholes in a fun game way, but we have to start looking at them like what they are. They're the people working against us. People are fucking with people in the community. That could be you too, Luli. People could be fucking with you too. It could be the same people. It's time to start comparing notes. That's the point of this. Jack needs to give us another bone. Adam, I don't know if Jack needs to give us another bone, but Diana says, Ben, Dale did not find the treasure. So what good was all this info? Just because Dale didn't find this treasure doesn't mean the info wasn't pertinent. It just didn't help him. So maybe he didn't see something that somebody else would see. Maybe he missed something that somebody else wouldn't miss. I don't know. None of us know right now. But again, we have to leave that on the table. It's a possibility. It's the last 2 months that are primarily about the Madison. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because they do kind of move down. Okay, so let's go to. Oh shit, I gotta. Let's go to this. It's a little too far back. Not far, but too far back. What are we doing? July, August? Is that what we said? Why don't you get the oil change records on his vehicles? There's probably a clue there too. I mean, Madison, you can laugh and have fun. I turn over every rock, like Fenn says. I turn over every log. I turn over every rock. I'm going to look everywhere. I don't get stuck in rabbit holes. I have an ability to get myself out of a rabbit hole very quickly. Why is this one taking so long? Well, I'm about to go into a new rabbit hole right now. Why is this particular one not working? Is it offline? Again. Oh, yeah. Luli, come on. All right, here we go. There we go. That took forever. July 13th. Let's see if they're talking about the old man. Yep, look at that Madison right there. See, I hadn't even gotten there yet. I was still on June 30, like I think. Which would mean Madison very high. Caught 2 fish, missed several. Yeah, clearing out of Lower Madison at Rock Garden. Rock Garden. See, like, if he had called something Rock Garden in the poem, like your motive will be forever hardened deep beneath the rock garden. Boom, there you go. Like you'd have to figure out what the rock garden is, and the rock garden is a specific spot at Lower Madison. Bingo, bingo, bongo. Homer Brown. That's my desperation freak out moment. I'm glad y'all got to see that. Are you guys as angry as I am? Like, I'm still pissed. And y'all are fighting in the chat. This is the point. This is what they want. They want this. No holding on to info, right? I agree, Nick. There's stuff I can't share because, you know, I just can't share it. It's not the info that I can't share. It's just how I have the info. From whom, where, when, why, and all those other fun words. But as far as, you know, remember what dog food lid spelled? Shh. Dildo of God. 42 pancakes. This includes Pam. I mean, listen, Pam is an interesting topic. Let's get to Pam because we don't need to. The log speaks for themselves. There's shit tons of good stuff in there, guys. I would suggest checking it out. We can get back to the fishing logs in a bit as well. But like, again, state of the chase here. State of the chase. I understand what Pam is talking about in these shortened clips that I've seen of why she can't share. She said she's made promises. I've heard that line before too, though. I've heard other people say they've made promises. There's lots of promises. Why can't any of these promises also be to the community? Why can't we break a promise once in a blue moon? Huh? Like, you know, I'm just saying, like, there's no reason not to. This is getting ridiculous. You'd save a lot of people a lot of time and a lot of pain, a lot of misery, and frankly, some people a lot of money. I know there's people watching in the background here that exist in ways that are involved in this chase in ways we could never probably even fucking imagine, maybe. And there's a lot of people, I think, from what I'm hearing, snickering and laughing. Not so much like a bunch of millionaires pointing and going, ha, 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 or anything like that, but just like, wow, what else can we make them do? That kind of shit. Like once it's all over, it's going to be like a handshake and move on. But I don't think this is designed to end. I think this has been designed to keep going. And if it wasn't designed to keep going, if it really was designed to end, the powers that be could make that very clear. They choose not to. The powers that be are not Jack Stoops. The powers that be are the Fenn family. Shiloh, it could just be Shiloh. Come on. He showed he had no problem jumping into K-Pro's channel to try to clear the air about a family tussle, when all the information to come out afterwards just proves there was a friggin' family tussle. So let's see. If I'm to be led correct here, we could dox people from the 1940s if we had gotten a hold of Fenn's fishing log. We could trample the site if we all knew it was 500 feet from the 9 Mile, wherever it is. Again, we're being treated like children, and it's getting old. It's getting old. Please use proper safety gear next time you do a river crossing. Listen, I used the gear that God gave me. I was not going to wear waders into that river. I crossed it with my shoes that worked and my pants that dry in seconds, and I got across. I know the type of river I'm crossing. It's not a strenuous river to cross. If you slip and fall, you're going to slip and fall, but you'll get up and you'll stand up and you'll be able to still keep going. Am I missing questions? Sorry, I saw a lot of shit just flying at me. Dale won't even give the second syllable of the first name, talking about a drip campaign. The second syllable of his first. It took me a minute. I'm a little embarrassed that it took me as long as it did, actually. Remember, Dale has been threatened, sued, harassed. I'm not saying he's completely harmless, but he went through a lot for years. Again, I completely understand and empathize. I agree. I get it. I get it. I totally get it. I don't understand what that has to do with the words he chooses to use. He could again say, I've been harassed, threatened, blah, blah, blah. And for fear that this would I just don't believe the inherent argument of this. Who's he afraid he's going to harm with these fishing logs? I don't get it. And we're allowed to question Dale on specific instances, not question Dale's character or person. I'm talking question certain things in this chase that have involved him. And certain topics seem to piss off certain people to no end. And I get interested by that. There's other topics that don't seem to bother anybody. You're gonna keep talking about those. Keep yip-yapping about those topics. But as soon as you whisper about this other topic, we fucking brah. And it's very obvious it happens in this chase. So yeah, the more people get mad, it's okay. Yeah, that is when you start paying attention. None of this is for clicks, views, subscribe. Again, roll tape. I have never once asked for a like or a subscribe ever. In fact, I think I said the opposite one night. Dislike it. Unsubscribe. I don't know what I said. I was joking, but the point is that's not what this is about. It's about getting to the truth. It's about figuring out, hey, look at this. Treasure Seeker's Brutal Truth is here. He's thumbs upping. I want everybody to come together. I think it's time. It's no more silly fighting. Nick is right. We're over a year now, and we're further away from the truth than we were. The only reason we know what we know is because of one of the lawsuits. Because of Barbara, we know about Jack Stoof and everything that came with it. Because of Barbara. Maybe we should say thanks for that. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of I stayed out of the court battles. I do know that there were court battles, though. You'd have to be living under a rock to not know that. Thank you, Dark, for the thumbs down and the unsubscribe. But you know what? Hit that notification bell, though. So at least you know when I'm going on, right? Smart move. Get some new material. Madison Rat, I don't know your game, dude, but it's like you're like the guy who sits near the front row of like a stand-up comedy act and you're just heckling. But it's like the same heckle over and over and over and over again. And I've chose to engage with you quite a few times, and I'll continue to. I'm not even mad. It's just like thou doth protest too much about get a new material. And again, I'm not saying if Barb got played, or I'm not getting into anything else about Barb. What I'm saying is guys, I think we can get a lot more done together than separate. And it seems like a really obvious conclusion, but we're not doing it. The whole fucking point of the codex was work together. I've been begging this community to work together since I've started this shit. Dark, evil genius, Dark Madison's rats. I'm not even gonna, it's funny though. I don't know. Treasure Seeker said, if that was true, then everyone needs to stop talking behind closed doors. If everyone did come together, then they all have to work together and no secrets, lay all out on the line once and for all. I think something like that should be done, Greg. I think something like that could be done. It's almost like trying to get the Soviet Union and the United States to like negotiate a peace treaty. Okay, we want the peace treaty. How do we negotiate this? Meanwhile, everybody's firing rockets off still, trying to instigate, saying, ooh, it was them, or ooh, it was them, and trying to get us to fight again, right? Those would be the powers that be. So we have to ignore the bullshit rockets still coming from the powers that be. And while we still have to negotiate our peace treaty, as crazy and silly as it all sounds. So let's ignore the bullshit and negotiate a peace treaty so we can then through that peace treaty is laying out all of our information in front of everybody so we can get together and figure this out. The search season's coming to an end. We're getting into October. I think I even saw a video. It's already snowing in Yellowstone. I mean, I'm saying anything's possible here. Dark is saying 24-hour marathon, lay it on the line. Yes or no questions. But I think we can do it. That's right, Packer Jack. He said, go, Forrest said, go in peace. It's time for some peace. And if I do anything for this community, jumping in at the last minute, maybe it's to negotiate the peace treaty. Do those people go down in history? Probably not. I don't care, though. You don't do it for that. You do it to negotiate the peace treaty so you can enjoy the aftermath of the peace treaty. I will then get to enjoy finding out what the fuck happened so I can stop this shit. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing this long roundabout way of figuring out what happened or having you guys figure out what happened so I can stop having to worry about what happened. USA China says, I keep suggesting info forum for all at World Series of Fenn and a panel. I mean, yeah, we got a lot to talk about, man. We got a lot to talk about. Just like Marty, emails are fake. Which emails, Greg, are you talking about? Everyone has to share all emails and info, no secrets. I agree. We got to share everything. But again, we have to slowly build to that in a quick, expedited amount of time. So we got to figure out a way for everybody to quickly earn some trust with each other and just lay shit on the table. If people aren't trying to be part of the solution, then they're part of the problem. Share and be positive and bring out the best in each other. I agree. Let's do that. Come on. That's what we all want, right? Dark is saying, brutal truth, Marty was in contact with Forrest for years. Nick, I want to start a prize pool, and the winner is the person who can prove they emailed Fenn the most, right? And then show all those emails. Right, till everyone falls out again. And look, that's what we have to stick to, guys. Children will lose the focus and then we'll all fall out. And we'll all start yelling at each other, and we'll all be back at square one. Let's shock the powers that be. Let's shock them and fall out. Let's stay in good contact with each other. Let's not do anything that pisses one another off. Let's do things in ways where we go, if I was releasing this information, how would it affect everyone? How would it affect me if I were on the outside? Even if you don't think you need to do that for this particular, whatever we're doing in this from now on, let's think about the other people now, as well as ourselves a little bit more, and we won't turn on each other. But I feel like we're running out of time in a way too. I feel like our backs are against the wall, and we're under a timer that we don't know about. And I don't want to fuck things up. I mean, is it a sign that I had one beer in my little mini fridge, and that's all I really wanted was one beer? What's going on? Indy's saying, Ben, I'm talking to my friend about the auction website, and he's telling me the auction website and LLC website are under the control of the same entity that bought the domain in 2020, K-Pro. So, Brutal Truth, Greg, right now today, to show you information, we have been investigating the auction website that now forwards to the Wyoming LLC attorney. Live on the show as I was talking, I got a phone call from the Wyoming LLC attorney. And I even picked it up while we were live, and I told him I didn't want to talk to him at that moment because we were live, and I can't not tell him that we're live, and I'm not going to say, hey, you're live on YouTube as well, because then he just won't talk to me at all. So I got off the phone with him. I'll have a conversation. I'll call him back later. He said he's going to email me. I can check that though. I can check and see if he emailed me, but we're in touch with this auction website. We're trying to dig in deep to it. It seems like they're part of maybe the website that's talking shit or trying to fuck with K-Pro. And guess what? People are fucking with K-Pro, dude. And it's not you, right? It's very 100% not you. So it allows K-Pro to drop her guard a little bit, even with you. Maybe I'm speaking for her. I don't want to speak for her, but I'm just saying she knows it's not you. We know it's not you. So we can say, okay, we don't even have to worry if it's Greg, or not that we would worry it's you. It's just everybody is, I'm a suspect until we know who it is, right? But we know who it is, and it's not you and it's not me. So the point is here, somebody is playing games at another level, like you always say, but it might not be the games you were thinking either. It's games that we're not thinking. Something's going on. Something's afoot. So I feel like I was talking about something even bigger beyond that. Now I've lost my complete train of thought. But yeah, either way, let's work together. So yeah, no, we're investigating the auction site, and the auction site's, I think, gonna give us a huge amount of information. Dare I say plethora. I've been investigating it for quite some time. Glad to know Indy had been investigating it for quite some time. A couple others had been investigating and talking to me about it, and we've been sharing information since moment one about this kind of stuff, and it's been happening quicker because of that, because this is newer in terms of when we actually got to talk about this. So Good things are happening in that regard. Am I on speed? Hell no. I'm hyped up right now. Something is going on. Too many people are getting fucked with. I have been fucked with on this chase. I haven't shared some of the things I've been fucked with. I also have been fucked with. Maybe it's because I jumped in with a big splash. I don't know. But so I'm understanding what other people are going through too. There's something else going on. Yeah, and I think K-Pro, you know, we're gonna maybe be doing another big panel. Maybe on your show, my show, I don't know, Greg's show. Doesn't fucking matter, guys. We're all in this together now. This is like the documentaries too. Like the more documentaries, the better. The more people covering this, the better. Quicker way to get to answers. The more of us working together, the better. It's a great theme. So it's wonder how that always works out that way, huh? The more, the better. It works every time. And, you know, there could be genuinely good reasons why this is all going down. And when I say good, I mean good-hearted reasons, not nefarious, not laughing at us from behind the shadows, but, oh, there's a second chest. Like I am actually starting to take that seriously now. Wholeheartedly, like not crazy sauce conspiracy theory, like wholeheartedly think maybe there is something else out there and they just can't say it. I wondered it, and now I'm starting to really think it because the motivations for what I'm seeing even more in detail, finer detail, the motivations are really honed in on like one of two options here. They're either laughing at us or they're really frustrated because they can't help us. It's one of the two. Adam, we've nothing. We have proof? No, this wasn't designed to have proof. What is there proof of God? Do you love your daughter or son or mom or dad? Show me proof. This is designed in that way. It's the same way the poem's encryption is his brain. You have to understand his thoughts to encrypt, to decrypt it. You can't, there's no piece of paper that's going to tell me the formula to do that. Just as he's going to do something where there's no proof, unless you have all the conjecture siphoned through and you're able to see certain facts and able to line up certain things and make fourth dimensional hexagonal thoughts about certain things and go, oh shit, that's what's going on. And then it becomes irrefutable, but it can only be seen and seen as irrefutable once you've done all that deductive math in your head and gotten there, which few people do. And I'm not even saying I have, I'm just saying that's what it requires. It's another form of encryption. Simply put, if you can't share info at this point because legal liability, then you push too far to begin with and are part of the overall problem. That goes for everyone. Well, Nick, then I mean, that's an interesting thought, I guess. Maybe things were acquired legally, but just can't be shared legally. Did you ever think of that? So no one went too far. It was just they were pushed into a corner of, oops, now I can't, oh, I found it, but now I can't say it. Bill Gorman, Kevin Bacon helped me. But see, listen, like, Ben, who owns the auction website? Well, right now, who owns the auction website? Hey, Greg, thank you for coming. Appreciate you stopping in. Hope to see you again soon. I hope this is the beginning of us all kind of working together and trying again, but we're going to do it in a much more open way, a much more vocal way, in a much more forthright way and sharing way. And hopefully that's what comes out of this. So, you know, peace. What was I saying? I don't know. See you, JK. You're off to work. Either way, it's time to work together. That's so who owns the auction website? Right now it forwards to wyomingllcattorneys.com. And if you go through that website, boy, oh boy, does it have some fun stuff in it. Now that I've been talking to them, you know, I don't want to say anything out of bounds or anything like that. You make up your own opinion when you go to the website. If anything, I'm giving them traffic. That's good. Don't do anything harassment wise or anything like that. Let's just figure out what this is very calmly, very quietly, very peacefully. Assuming there's a logical conclusion to this ending in terms of the website, we move on from it. We don't keep We don't do anything. But it's something at least to find out about. So maybe I got an email. Let's check. It's interesting. They called when we were on. Here we go. I did get an email. Man, I keep forgetting about that one fucking website. Oh no, it's one of those basic copy and paste website or copy and paste texts that get sent to you for, like, you know, a sales thing basically. Thank you for your inquiry. It would be our pleasure to help set up your company. We are online based and do not offer in-person sit downs or require it. Interesting, because if you go back to their website, okay, now it's okay. What? We charge $199 to form an anonymous LLC and have a 24-hour guaranteed turnaround. The $199 includes a state filing fee, first year registered agent. So if you are familiar, everything we need to create a company is on our one-page order form here. Please let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so if I go to here's the website. Let me pull it out. Fuck it. Wait, maybe I shouldn't. Oh, I can't think. What should I? Hey, babe. I think people can hear you or something. I'm not sure, but I can.
Well, I don't know why I came in here, but I came in here to say hello and home.
Okay, I love you.
I love you. Goodbye.
Fuck. Who owns this? A couple of lawyers, I guess, to summarize. I mean, take a look at it yourself, guys. I don't know what to say right now. Because I do worry I'm fucking with lawyers right now. You know, you don't want to fuck with lawyers. Indy says she's going to know within 10 minutes. I mean, I've looked into the website itself, forestfenntreasure.com, and it forwards now to this website. And if you read this website, Wyoming LLC attorney, it just talks about property rights and all that stuff. But it's one weird website. At least in my opinion. Maybe they need help fixing their website. Maybe they don't need to fix their website. It's a Wyoming attorney office, but their address goes to a place that doesn't exist, for instance. Copy and paste their address and put it into Google Maps and see what you get. Tell me what you guys get, honestly. Go ahead and copy and paste it. Go to their website. Go forestfenntreasure.com. You're going to try to look up Forest Fenn stuff right now. If it forwards you there, it forwards you there. And then copy and paste their address into Google. It takes you to nowhere. An H&R Block with an address similar but not accurate. The address where it would be is an empty plot of land with a no trespassing sign. Not who owns it now, who built it. Didn't Candy say you found someone related to the website and read it? Yeah, that's been brought to my attention. I have to go back into old notes. I haven't had a chance to because I've been doing the fishing log all day. But she reminded me. I'm gonna check my notes. I don't. Maybe I can't. Maybe it's something I can't share. I don't know. But I'll double check that. The website hasn't been down, Adam. It forwards to this Wyoming LLC attorney website. It still does. Like I can do it. I can do it live if we want. I'll do it live. We'll do it live. How do I share screen? Right there. All right. So forestfenntreasure.com forwards to Wyoming Trust and LLC attorney. Allow us to help you. And he says, give us a call. 1309. Let's just, let's do this. Boopity boop. Google Maps. What? Oh. Yeah, no, I was talking to him. It's all good. Right here. Yeah, Greg. Well, I'll reach out. 1307, H&R Block. No trespassing. What? At the H&R Block, I can't trespass in the H&R Block private area, but 1309 doesn't exist. It's just an empty plot of land. Whoops. Weird. And Adam's saying it's a massive troll, and I'm saying it could be. It absolutely could be. But the troll being done is being so concocted with, again, certain things behind the scenes that are so strange from the beginning that some people need to start talking. We're figuring it out. It hasn't taken much to figure out. 1309 is the building behind 1307. No, it's, I mean, literally, I just went there, guys. The building behind is not 1309. That's a home. That building is not 1309 either, because I looked into it, and it doesn't match any. I've looked at that. That's something else. It's like 1305. Trust me. What's this? Whoa. Where the heck did that forward me off to? You know, it's crazy. I was just I think I drove on this road at one point when I was in Wyoming. It's crazy. Anyway. You can email me at phil@forestfenntreasure.com. What is this, DS1980? Are you the person behind forestfenntreasure.com? Is that what you're saying? Or are you just saying you can email that person and figure out some shit? I don't know what you're saying. Not important. Why do you guys constantly talk about whether you can or can't do something? Why are you tied to a set of rules while people like me left in the dark? I would say there's no difference between people like you and people like me. I would just say in the process of trying to gain and acquire information to present all at once, you do have to make promises and shake hands and say, okay, I won't say this, but you got to tell me that. And then you'll learn something, and then you can hold on to that piece of information and move on to the next one. But you got to hold on to it. You can't talk about it yet. It's the only way you can actually ascertain information. And again, though, eventually that has to stop. Eventually you have to share. So I mean, if you're ever feeling like that, that's only because somebody else is in the process of doing something just like that. And they're trying to make things right. They're trying to figure things out. Isn't impersonating illegal? Any Joe Schmo can create an LLC and harass people. I don't think so. Goldilocks, I tend to agree. Like, whoever's doing this is a form of a harassment on a level that doesn't make any sense. And honestly, might be worthy of court. If it's anything to do with the treasure hunt and by the powers that be, then I wouldn't call it harassing. I would call it, this is part of the game and we're part of it and we're playing it. And they're major parts of it, but then they have to say so. So if they don't, then the next step is, okay, figure out who is doing this at all costs, because somebody's doing something illegal, I think, and they should be in trouble for that. It was shared with us to stalk, harass, destroy, which is illegal. Exactly. So something nefarious is afoot. If it's part of the game, then the people in the game need to say so. Otherwise, we're coming full force. And again, like I said, I will bring the whole thing together and we will figure it out. if we have to stomp on some ants, we will stomp on some ants. Time to start sharing, people. The alarm bells are ringing. That was the whole point of today. All right, I'm going to send out a link to the chat, and any of y'all can come on, okay? I got my rant done. I've probably made some enemies. Dale's probably not a fan of me right now. That's okay. If he takes a step back, he might know I'm not doing it to piss him off. I'm doing it to get fucking answers here, and it's not personal. But shit needs answering. So let's do the link, invite, copy invite link. Nobody's doing this. You do it to yourselves. Thomas Conrad. I mean, some of this, yes. Some of this, no. But if anyone wants to hop on, otherwise I'll just keep yapping away. We got plenty to talk about. Pin message. Hopefully I have enough beer. God bless it. Maybe I should text. Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Do we have any more beer?
How did I know you were gonna ask me that? How did I know? I was coming up here to say hi to you and be cute, and I just knew you were gonna ask me for beer.
Can we get more? Or order it or something? I'm just busy doing this, otherwise I would, but. Yes, no, maybe so. No, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I have to look.
Oh, okay. Don't run away. I liked it. You were back scratching me. It felt good.
Well, how do I look?
No. I know. Oh, no. I'm asking if we have any more beer downstairs. I know we don't have beer in there.
Hi, Ben. I think
Hold on.
you should,
Hey, what's up, dude? Hold on. Babe,
No, you're making me walk up and down the
are
stairs.
you
should get
drunk?
in trouble for that river crossing.
What's up?
I think you should get in trouble for that river crossing.
Why should I get in trouble for that river crossing?
Because you could have killed yourself.
I could have killed myself driving on the road at night.
Yeah, that just looked dangerous the way you were doing it there. I'm picking on your picture. I'm just messing with you. Don't take it personal.
Honestly, it looks worse than it is. That's why it's a cool picture. But like, it just looks worse than it is. I got the proper shoes on. I'm walking slowly, and that's all. I mean, there's a big hole at the end of that I almost fell into. But like, honestly, I had my wits about me the whole time. I was fine. Just got to do everything nice and slow. That's all. Nice and slow.
I just saw a little bit of you in myself because I've made river crossing attempts like that without the proper gear, and I've fallen, and it was cold, and I almost died.
I mean, if I was going in any kind of other river, maybe yes. But
Because those rocks under there are slick.
oh, they
you-
are. They are. I
Slick.
purposely
Really?
I went into the weeds on purpose.
Yeah.
The rocks were like the rocks would at least tell me, okay, I'd at least be able to have a better gauge of the water level. But I'd also go, oh yeah, but you're gonna slip and fall right on your ass going on those things too. So like, I was actually scared of the rocks.
Yeah, and you could actually, the current could shove your head underwater against a rock and
Right, you can
Both.
fall. I know. I mean, listen. Keep in mind, like I said, I was an archaeologist. I kind of lived, eat, breathed outdoors for a lot of years, and that includes a lot of river crossings in my day. So, I'm just, maybe it's a little false. What's it called? Maybe false. Hold on, Hold on. False. This way. False. My whole thoughts.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't wish you.
Hold on. I want to
did
finish
this.
that thought, but I have to see something from.
Come on, Derek, come show 'em.
I want to see what Derek's got.
This is more important.
Let me see. Ooh, a homework pass. What'd you get this for?
Everybody gets it, and yeah, you.
He was
get it.
good. He got a homework
You
pass.
get to like turn this in and you don't have to do homework?
Yeah, he's gonna
That's
save it
awesome. Where are you gonna put it?
In my thing.
in your folder.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What'd you
put it in
do
your binder.
what'd you do to earn it?
I don't know. They just gave me it to me.
Were you just being good all the time, not getting in trouble?
Tell him what you said. He said his teacher is like me and she was about to cry in class today because all the kids were mean. Huh, but not him.
Not you. Good man.
Is someone at the door?
Maybe.
Probably one of your friends.
All right, sorry about that. All right, what were we saying here? River crossings. They can be dangerous. But you know what? Again, like Forrest said, we don't drain the pool. Ben, what about the Redditor who received an email response from Fenn who told him, who told him nobody had correctly identified Homer Brown? That would exclude Naima Hole and Brown Trout entirely. Yeah, Albert, I found out, I think that whole thing has been discredited to some extent. And I think K-Pro is the one actually to do it. So K-Pro maybe can speak to that. I don't know. Ben, you should have caught your first fish on camera for us. Yeah, I could have tried, I guess. I attempted to catch my first fish when I was like 11 with my grandpa. Never did. Or 12 or 13 or 14.
You've
Step
never
grandpa.
caught a fish?
Never caught a
Are
fish.
you fucking
He
kidding?
took me like 4 or 5 times. I never caught.
As a man, you've never caught a fish.
No, I caught a small little baby little thingamajiggy in a lake in Minnesota once. But that's it. It didn't really count. But I reeled him in.
Do you know how many fish your daughters have caught?
I know. I was having that. That was going to be the moment they taught me.
Wow.
But it didn't get to happen.
Wow.
Ghost Dancer, you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, just making sure. Who's chilled? Ben's mouth moves,
Yeah.
moves out, but has no value. Again, K-Pro, you can leave that on. That's the stuff. It's no big deal. Like, I get a lot of people would say get rid of that comment. I don't care, guys. Chilled lady has their opinion. I'm assuming it might not be a lady, but who knows? It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I agree with your idea on the unity. I mean, there's a lot of smart people in this community. And
Yes.
if we could all just put our heads together, I think the answers would come really easy.
I think so too. I think we need to get rid of the gold fever that a lot of us maybe still might have and not even realize. We might be contagious and not know it. Is that like a political comment now to even make? But let's maybe treat this like gold fever is real and we need to let that fever subside a little bit and start talking again. And, you know, technically speaking, the treasure chest has been found. Even if we think there's something else, there's nothing official. So there's no real reason to hide this stuff, guys. K-Pro saying, Ben, what value does it bring? It only divides, but your channel, okay. I mean, I agree. It does only divide, K-Pro. So and sometimes things are bigger than even just me, I guess. You know, if you feel that shouldn't be there, then get rid of it. That's why you have a wrench. Fuck it. You have a good point. I can't sing, Richard. Don't say that out loud. I absolutely cannot sing. Miriam, I don't know if that was at me. If it is, let me explain. The only things I'm holding back are things that I just can't divulge anymore for reasons that are beyond and above me. But the things that I'm holding back on,
I have a question.
Information. It's more just.
I have a question for you, Ben.
Yeah, give it to me.
Is there any kind of gases or any kind of noxious fumes that could be put off by the amount of gold that was in that chest and by it, you know, sitting underground a little bit?
Not in the amount of time it was underground, no.
What kind of chemicals, poisonous chemicals to human beings would that produce?
Something along the lines of like opening an Egyptian tomb after a few thousand years, right?
Yeah, like they say that there's a certain chemical associated with gold.
Mm-hmm.
And it's poisonous, it's toxic if you breathe it, or it gets on your skin or any of that.
I think, and which goes in line with everything in the universe. Like everything is so balanced. Stuff is so good yet so bad all at the same time, right? And like that could literally be the foundation of gold fever, the fact that there's something noxious and toxic, you know? It's
Yep.
interesting when you think about it, where like curses for treasure hunts, do they come from the fact that it's just so much gold piled up and so much of in the same area for a certain amount of time over a long period of time in an enclosed space? Like, does that become a curse in the sense of it just becomes poisonous? It'd be pretty far out if that were the case. That'd be the irony of ironies for all of treasure hunting. And yes, Bud Light is absolutely my drink of choice nowadays for going live because it's just water, so it's fine. Keeps me nourished and gives me a little bit of a buzz after maybe 15 of them.
I think the word I was looking for, Ben, was arsenic.
Arsenic is a good word.
Associate
Yeah.
arsenic
Yeah.
poisoning with gold.
Agreed. Good word. Well, what do you think about the way we are in the chase right now, the state of it? Dale releasing these things at the times in which he is, people fucking with K-Pro, I guess, as far back as 2018, but like they have serious knowledge of the inner workings of the chase. You know, they're mocking an LLC that gets posted on the same date as the chest getting found a year before. Like there's all sorts of just everything seems to be a coincidence. It's a coincidence, Ben. Stop asking. It's too many coincidences and too many lies by too many people, right? I mean, at least that's where I'm at.
I'm at the point where I'm just waiting for answers from the people that matter in the chase.
The only people that let me see if we agree on who matters. I think the people who matter are anybody out of the Fenn family, Jack.
Whenever they're ready and comfortable to release that kind of information, even with Jack, because I have to take Forrest Fenn's word for it. And he told me the chest was found in Wyoming, and Jack Stoof came forward, all of a sudden. That's where I'm confused, right around that timeline. But as far as the chase now, my chase continues. I'm still out here. I still have gold fever, and I'm still looking for gold.
I mean, and it seems to kind of fly in the face of what Jack himself is trying to say. We don't want people trampling the site. Well, maybe people are trampling the site accidentally now, Jack. Did you ever think of that? Maybe while people are looking now for a fake blaze, many of the 200 footers or 500 footers who don't know they're 200 or 500 footers and they're going back to the same spots they used to go, they're accidentally trampling the site, right, sir? So in order to end that, say where the site is, and then we also need to then protect it. There are solutions here for the bullshit. And that's why I got mad today, because the bullshit is all starting to sound the same from all the same sources. And forgive me for being wrong, but when I see bullshit like, oh, you're going to trample the site, meanwhile everybody's trampling over everywhere looking for the site, and then I see, oh, I didn't want to release this fishing log because there was too much private information. Oh, well, and then I changed my mind. There's no private information. It's just there's a lot of nonsense seemingly coming out in a short amount of time. This feels, if you will, like Fenn dropping the scrapbooks in a short amount of time at the end of the chase, and everyone understanding that this was all coming out quickly. Something was up.
Well, I can see Dale's point of view, though. I mean, these are areas and locations that they've been to, so that's kind of sacred. Their memories are held there, and they really don't want a bunch of people going there.
I get that, but you know what? If let's pretend it's in Yellowstone, people are accidentally going there. Then it's going to happen. And you brought up even Fenns bringing up Wyoming again. This is the same man who says look up all the words. Thomas Conrad.
You have to protect these. You have to protect these locations, or they're going to be desecrated.
then Forrest Fenn never should put a treasure hunt at one of these places. That's
We
Forrest
don't
Fenn's
know.
fault.
That's the same place that you're thinking of, though.
Wherever it is, if it needs to be protected so much,
No,
then
you gotta
Forrest Fenn
go,
never
but
should
you
have buried a
gotta.
treasure there or hid a treasure there.
Yeah, that makes that makes sense. He did.
I
just
never
caused
once heard, and Ghost, I'm not attacking you on this, so understand this is the Italian in me that just gets loud, but I never once heard Forrest say he was worried about people trampling or desecrating the location.
correct.
Never once. And chat just said
Correct.
it too. When did Forrest ever say a word about trampling? Never, never, never. And then Davio says never. I agree.
Well, obviously, he didn't care about desecrating these locations because he had plenty of artifacts.
Okay, and that's my point. So we also then can't say that's why. So Jack is okay to. Oh no. Forrest and I talked. We both agreed we shouldn't desecrate the site, and we shouldn't release it. And then later on, he confirms, yeah, no, I don't want to desecrate the location, so searchers can't know where it is because we can't be trusted. Get out of here. This is a 10-year search that encompassed all throughout the Rockies, everywhere, national parks, private land, people getting arrested, people dying. It already happened.
People going broke.
People going broke. It already happened. So the thing Jack is trying to prevent has already happened. And again, you can't say that Forrest is a part of that thinking because again, he never would have buried a treasure or hid a treasure at a spot that should be protected if he thought it should be protected. Bullshit.
People make mistakes. Maybe this is one of Forrest's mistakes.
This isn't a mistake from a man who says, I thought everything. I thought of everything. So you didn't think of the idea that people would want to go to the spot once they found out where it was and it would become a tourist destination? You didn't think that, Forrest? Sorry, Ghost, you're low in volume. I can't hear you.
There's bigger fish to fry.
From who? Like from whose perspective?
Bigger treasures, bro.
Bigger treasures. Well, I mean,
Yeah, there's Forrest Fenn's treasure chest was peanuts compared to what's out there, buddy.
okay, so let's shift gears for a second. Albert wanted to bring this to the attention of everybody. I think K-Pro has figured out somehow that this is not real, or she got Fenn to say a quote that kind of goes against this, but maybe K-Pro can speak to it. I'm going to share screen for a second. This is from Reddit, an email from Forrest Fenn to somebody on Reddit. Now, they don't share the actual email, mind you. They're just bringing it up on Reddit. I have written FF maybe 4 or 5 times over the past 4 years. He has never answered any of my emails, but I know he has read them. Don't ask how. Already, I'm a little suspect of that. Today, I asked him the following. Forrest, thank you for the chase. I enjoyed every minute of it. When I took a hard knee in the middle of the Madison below, even when I took a hard knee in the middle of the Madison below Hebgen, I know you will not disclose the location, but it was wondering if you would tell me whether anyone other than the retriever gave you the correct home of Brown. I assume he means a simple yes or no would make my day. Thank you again, my name. He read it within seconds. He answered several hours later with this. No, they did not, sir. F, lowercase f. What's everyone's take? A couple things come to mind here. He read it within seconds, but didn't answer for several hours. Again, you have to assume he's taking the truth. Now, this guy is basically insinuating he has some kind of email tracker on Forrest's email account, and he knows when Forrest opens his emails. Again, hacking is a big thing, and I think people underestimated how many hackers are out there and how simple it is to teach yourself the basics to be able to hack a Forrest Fenn. So yes, this guy, I believe, knew how and when Forrest would answer or pick or open his emails because Forrest was hackable. So
I would agree with that, Ben. I'm pretty sure there was some hacking going on during the chase.
Absolutely.
Speaking as being a victim of it.
Understood. And if you're a victim of it, you're anyone who's a victim of hacking only knows so well that that it is possible. It can get you from out of nowhere, from where you least expect it. It doesn't matter how many safeguards you think you have. It can always happen. And when it does, it's devastating. Hacking is much worse to your psychology, your future, your person than words on the internet, like people making you feel bad and talking shit to you and making fun of you. None of that means shit. Someone who can hack you can destroy your life. So just, it seems easy, duh, but trust me, this guy is basically saying he's fucking hacking Fenn in a very simple and basic way, but that's what he's saying. And now KPro has sent emails to Fenn, I guess, that are different. I'd like to see the chat and see if KPro is saying anything different here, if she's even still here. But like, I think she has emails stating something different than this person who's stating on Reddit, but I'm not sure. It got over 100 upvotes. That's a lot of consensus because, and by the way, guys, upvotes don't mean just sucking up. Upvotes also mean people understand the person posting this too. That means this person has some credibility as well. They don't just say shit to say shit. Because Redditors remember. Ben, it does not make sense because you're outside of the poem. Get back in the poem and look at Thomas Conrad's comment. Okay, so what is the definition of Wyoming? Again, I haven't looked it up yet because I've done this already. But the definition of Wyoming, I think, and I don't know the Merriam-Webster by heart. I know that the meaning, I think, is basically, Wyoming is like a state of mind. It could be anywhere. So you can get away with saying it was found in Wyoming and still be in the entire Rocky Mountains, essentially is the point, right? Before I look it up. Ann Johnson says, you cannot make judgments about things you don't know. There are things in the Rockies that, while safe, cannot be exposed to the masses for various reasons. And I completely agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you. First of all, I grew up in Boulder. I'm an archaeologist, former archaeologist. I live in the fucking wilderness. I totally wholeheartedly agree with you. What I'm saying is then Forrest Fenn shouldn't have put a treasure and hidden a treasure somewhere that needs to be protected. He should have put a treasure somewhere else.
Yeah, and actually, I want to retract my statement, and it's not hackers. There's two different types. There's hackers and there's crackers. Crackers are going to be the ones that are trying to break codes and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then the hackers are out there and they're actually out trying to help society and make it better.
Right.
Not
all hackers are bad. Let's just say not all hackers are bad people. They're good people doing good things. We don't know.
So I think, yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of crackers in the chase.
Asterix. I grew up in Boulder for a while, Boulder, Colorado. In my childhood, in my younger and more vulnerable years. What are other thoughts here? And like Albert says, very respectable.
Forrest told me to use my imagination.
Right. And you and everybody else.
My imagination leads me to.
Notice I haven't used a vape pen once.
His granddaughter, Mika, is dating Jack, and they found the treasure because it's in the family. The only way you would really have an advantage over anybody in the chase was if you have personalized knowledge. And I think if as a family member, if my grandpa or my dad or somebody like that's going to put $2 million out there for somebody to go find, I think I'm going to be all over that.
I agree. So, I just think that's super fun as a grandkid.
Somebody inside the family had knowledge to their grandpa, their dad, whoever it was. And, they solved that thing.
I'll get right back to that. Craig, you can turn on read receipt requested in email platforms like Outlook when the email is opened and read and you are notified. It does not require hacking. Yes, he would have said that if that were the case. He said, don't ask how. Okay, that's already a foregone. We all know that. That's common knowledge. That's so common that it's not actually used that much anymore. Even Fenn would be able to bust through that. So no.
How's it going, man?
Who else is here? Sorry, I had the screen off. I was looking at chat. Ooh, wait. How many names do you have?
Nah, I figured this picture would be appropriate for today's discussion. If
Fuck
you
yeah.
notice right where I'm pointing.
The Buffalo's asshole.
Bullshit.
Bullshit indeed. We are getting fucked with, sir.
You know, it's like playing cards with grandma growing up, right? She taught me how to play bullshit. She taught me how to play slapjack. She taught me how to play so many different games that are relative to this chase.
Okay, I haven't played slapjack in years to the point that I actually don't even remember how to play it, but I remember
It's
the
whenever
game.
a jack is flipped over, you slap it first.
Right. But then what happens after that? Does somebody take a pile or something like that?
Dude, I don't know. I was like 7.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember. Bullshit, I remember. I play bullshit all the time. My grandma taught me how to play hearts and spades and how to play it for money and win.
You know, and with the references to card games, I've always associated these games, like these very simple 13-year-old games to be played.
Totally. What else are you going to do, by the way? What else are you going to do while you're chilling on the river? It's not just fishing all day. Like, you're going to chill, you're going to sit, you're going to talk, you're going to go introspective. You're going to play a card game or two.
You know, cards was their YouTube.
Right. Yes. Cards was their YouTube. 100%. Couldn't said it better. Ooh, I'm on one today, man. I got some energy. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I feel good too today, man. It's been a good day.
How have you been doing?
I am good. I got back late last night, slept in a little bit, did my duck chores. Now I'm just chilling with you guys.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. I figured I have to go on your live because you don't talk to me any other time. So
listen, I texted you.
That's all right. I see how you are. It's okay.
Once I got home, it was phone done. I'm done. I'm either playing Xbox, I'm writing because I'm a writer. That's what I do. But when I'm playing Xbox, I'm writing in my head. I'm thinking like, I'm getting over writer's block or something. Or I'm actually writing. My phone, least important thing to me once I got home. Really, honestly. But honestly, I
read chat on the game console and do Zoom on my phone.
It's fun to watch YouTube on the game console because you can just watch it on your TV at home. You don't have to be in front of a computer to do it. It's nice. I suggest it if you have a game console to watch on your game console on your couch or your bed or something. I'm going to go grab another beer. I suggest everyone grab another beer. We're going to go for about another hour. And I ranted about a lot. There's a lot of weird things happening in the chase right now. I want to get your guys' opinion on some, like, let's do like a lightning round on some topics of like what the heck is going on. So I'll be right back.
How's it going, Ghost Dancer? How are you today?
Hi, Jason. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too.
I've seen you on some other YouTube videos before.
Yeah, I'm like the YouTube channel whore. I just kind of get passed around and I'm okay with it though. Enjoying the sunshine, right? That's a picture of my backyard in the morning at 5 a.m.
Nice. Children of the corn. Reminds me of Children of the Corn.
Oh yeah. Yep. I look at it more like.
You out in Nebraska?
No, I'm in Northeast Iowa. But
Iowa.
It sucks because once that comes down, it's on top of a hill and then the snow comes. So I'm going to see if I could talk them into leaving like 4 rows around my house for a snow fence.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in southern Colorado.
Very beautiful there, man. It's
East of the Rockies.
You know, is it true? Like if you've been in an area, I mean, I've moved around, but if you've been in an area long enough, you kind of lose appreciation for it. You know, like, because every town has a Mickey D's, a Burger King, a Walmart, right? A Casey's, or, you know, and it's like you can move to another location and it's the same freaking town with the same groups of types of people. And it's like the only difference in every town is the scenery. And I feel people forget about that. I mean, so like with you living in Colorado, I mean, I'm sure you sound like you still appreciate those mountains.
Oh, absolutely. They've been a part of my entire life.
All right, the wifey's calling me. 1 second, please.
Yeah, the mountains have been part of my life the entire time. And I wanna point out something with the trail cams and stuff that are out there. I've made comments in chat and stuff before, but a lot of those things are put up to catch people leaving trash behind and doing things they shouldn't be doing back in the woods, you know.
You know, and I've had a
And
discussion.
it's really for their protection, to be honest. You know, I don't know if people realize that or not.
Well, and I don't think people realize how the law is written. You know, it's not what we think a law means. It's not what we assume it means. It's how it's written in the verbiage it's written. So like if you're within the public eye, which, you know, even if there was footage on there, it could be legally on a documentary. You know, it's in the public eye. You have no privacy in the public. And I don't think people realize that. You know, it's your fault you pee outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Use the bathroom before you go hiking.
Yeah, you always assume. And with today's technology, you guys are talking about hackers. Always assume someone's watching. You want privacy, then you can make yourself private, but not when you're
And you know, there's definitely a culture difference from the people in different locations. You know, people from the city live their life a lot different than people in the mountains, you know. And
well, and it's the
you have people that are ignorant and just think, you know, everything's perfect and safe. Well, it's not. You know, there's a lot of dangerous stuff going on. You know, they say it's even more dangerous to live in the big city, but
Ghost,
you know,
that's very ironic, because in that ignorant bliss is probably where you're the safest. Because if someone's watching you and you're just doing your thing, they
exactly.
overlook you.
You don't care. You overlook it and take the moment. You take advantage of the moment, really.
So that ignorance truly is bliss, no matter who's watching. That's when you can walk through the lions, right? When you're minding your own business.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Everyone's brave if they don't realize what's going on, you know?
Exactly. I was actually talking about baptism the other day, and my in-laws, like, you know, they're Catholic, and I'm kind of, I don't know, I you know, Lutheran, you know, by confirmation, but and I went to a Baptist church, or the one person I respected for his passion was a Baptist minister. And it's ironic, it's John the Baptist. But anyways, so he told me one day, he said, a child is ignorant. He's already saved. It's when you get old enough and you choose to do wrong, or you choose to go against the word, or, you know what I mean? That at that point, when you have a decision, is when you should get baptized or not, of your own accord. You don't need to be baptized as a child because you're already saved, because you're ignorant.
Yeah, that choice was already made for me before I even had the choice.
Yeah.
So you're brought into that. That's the way life is.
Guys, please excuse me. The wife called. I need to grill up some hamburger and get supper ready. So
nice.
If
Enjoy,
you're on
man.
later,
You should live stream from the grill, bro. Come on, jump back on when you're at the grill. I'm salivating. You made amazing burgers and steaks when we were grilling at West Yellowstone. Like,
you know, and those are true country boy. That's true country boy meat there. Like,
God, guys, let me tell you, Jason made these burgers and steaks in West Yellowstone. He told me when I got back home, I'd eat regular, like even if I bought the most expensive meat I could from the store, it won't come near it. And I did, just to test. And even then I was just like, oh, fuck. Oh,
He-
fuck.
You know, Ben, that cattle is taken care of so well. That cow had a name.
Wow. Well,
You know,
it almost was it was an honor.
yes, and it is an honor, and it is, and everyone should realize that when they eat flesh, that's a gift, and not to take that for granted either. But anyways, thank you very much, guys. I will talk to you later if you're still
Make
on.
some good burgers.
Oh, it's good meeting you, buddy.
Look at this little face. Look at this little guy. Paradelia, right? Or is that actually carved? That's probably actually carved.
Take it easy, Jason. Nice meeting you.
Oh, this is a good one. See this one. This looks like Montana. Almost looks like page 99 right here. Oh, look, Bill Gorman's coming in. What's up, Bill?
Bill,
Not much, just watching Jack, licking his stuff.
Is
that's
is everything coming down on him? Is it finally happening? Are we at that point?
I have the advantage. My dog is named Jack. So I get to see Jack lick his balls regularly. For $50,
Yeah,
he'll
my
help me
dog's-
off the leg.
Fortunately, I don't have that problem. My dog is a female.
Well, Jack will, yeah, he can take care of her if you want.
That seems like that's what his job is right now. It's just to watch. It's just to watch, make sure everything goes to plan. Don't let it run away. Don't let it run away. Just keep watch of it.
My neighbor called me this morning. Jack's over here. Okay, better come get him before the neighbor shoots him.
Yeah.
Jack gets in all kinds of trouble.
So what do you take of the whole Pam stuff? With email, all
Well,
that stuff.
she let us know what was, there was in remembrance of Forrest Fenn was started in 2019. So,
So I have a couple thoughts on this. Let's assume
No,
she's
go on.
telling the truth, because it seems like she is. So here's what it seems like Fenn needed and counted on somehow magically, that he would pen and write part of his, remembrance article that would later get posted, and Jack or the finder, if you will, the finder would somehow be a writer who could interweave Fenn's words into their own words on a larger article. Like if somebody who found the treasure, who doesn't know how to write, wouldn't give a shit about writing, finds the chest, how is Fenn going to have this whole article released with his words? He needs a writer to find the treasure so he can post his words with the writer's words on some remembrance article. Without it being a writer who finds it, how does he release this set of words?
Jack is the first Omega. The second Omega is the real finder.
Well, I'm starting to wonder. I'm starting to think maybe that's the case.
There's two endings. Two endings.
You can't.
Double Omegas means two endings.
Double Omegas means two endings. 100% means two endings.
And you're not going to
yeah,
have.
so why don't they just come out and tell us that Mika is dating Jack and they have the treasure and they're going to go off happily ever after?
That's too neat. Too nice and neat. I don't like it.
No, they weren't that kind to me. I was supposed to go off and live happily ever after, but somebody threw a big ass wrench in it.
This is what I'm saying, Bill. This is what I'm saying. There are people in this community who I've been watching get fucked with for a while, and I've had to determine, are they getting fucked with? Are they thinking they're getting fucked with and they're just, what's going on? And I had to really keep watching. I've come to you're one of them. There are people in this chase who have purposely been fucked with by the powers that be for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely apparent. It's 100% real. It's happening. Their silence speaks volumes. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I remember watching. I was going, oh God, if anybody posts about Jack and Rose and Titanic, I know it's going to be Bill Gorman. Like
I did.
but that's how
You're not
interested I was with it. I knew I was watching you. I was paying attention. Honestly, I promised you I was.
Yeah.
I was paying attention to everybody. And
what happens? Well, what's he say on Titanic? You know, and when you get the treasure, what are you when you get the treasure? The king of the world.
King of the world. That's right.
King of the world. I was watching a guy doing this thing on Noah Blake. You know, the Diary of an American Boy thing. Noah Blake.
Yeah.
What's the clue in that? What's the clue? What's the clue? Oh, okay. Genesis, Noah, 5 books of Moses, and Noah was in the book before Exodus with Moses.
I love when you can take anything back to Moses. That's good. I like
That's where Kevin Bacon comes in.
That's like, of course it is.
6 degrees of separation. I done it in 2 or 3. 2 or 3 degrees of separation. There's too many Moses hints.
Right.
Even the and things I've always said things he says twice in the book, and he says I was almost 80, and in the I think it's the same sentence he said I was almost 80. Yeah. Well, I'm almost 80, and I think it's so funny. Oh, I don't mean it's funny because I'm almost 80. So what's the clue about almost 80? When Moses was 80, God told him to write a book of his memories.
Exactly.
And what do we have? A book of memories.
Right. 100%.
When he was 80, he wrote his book of memories. And why was Grandma Moses important? Because Grandma Moses was a friend of Eric Sloane's, lived across the river from him. He was one was in New York and the other in Vermont, up near Burlington, and she was doing embroidery. That's the embroidery clue, an embroidery clue. She was doing embroidery, and when she couldn't push the needles through anymore, that she got so old in her arthritis she couldn't push needles. She started painting when she was 60 or 70, something like that. When old age, she started doing. And then Forrest Fenn, he decides to he dies on her birthday, and then Peggy dies on Charlton Heston's birthday, and Charlton Heston was in the big picture as Moses.
All right, so here's the thing. Okay, can I give you my initial reactions, right? Like I've heard you say it, but now you're saying it to me for the first time, right? So I have to react to it in an honest way. It's so crazy that that's how that works out. Like that's ridiculous, right? You have to pay attention to it. But then I ask a question though. I ask a question because now we're involving Peggy and her death. How does that work out? Did she just happen to die on that day? Are you saying she took her own life? Like, are you preordained? What's going on then, man?
Yeah, they both did the sleeping pills.
So they both did it. Okay, and that's fair. I won't even argue it. I don't know. I'm not making a judgment on that if that's right or wrong.
A long time ago. That's how they were going to do it.
It would make sense to me that whatever Fenn was doing, Peggy would honestly at the very end be actually involved with. I would understand that. I buy that. I don't want to say that's what happened, but I totally would agree that makes sense.
And then you listen all and hear me good. That comes from Charlton Heston's NRA speech. I want all within the sound of my voice to listen and to heed what I have to say, especially you, Mr. Gore. And what a coincidence, I'm Gore Man. And
lady thinks Bill's on acid.
Have the same birth. and then Charlton Heston says, "From my cold dead hands."
Right.
I'm taking it to the grave. You got to get it from my cold dead hands. nobody's going to have this treasure before I'm dead. You're not going to stumble on it because it's not there. My secret place was in a lawyer's vault.
Do you know what I always, you don't know because I've never said it, but what I always thought your effort will be worth the cold meant, because I think it was always in the original poem, even the first one he wrote, I thought your effort will be worth the cold meant your effort will be worth prying his cold, dead hands off of the treasure chest in order to take the treasure chest with you. And that's what was worth the cold. That's what I always assumed it meant.
He's been in the incinerator, so there's no prying needed.
Right. No, there's not. All that changed. And that's why he said, you know, my whole thing changed. My plans got ruined. And that's fair. That's fine. But I wonder if that was the intent, that's why your effort will be worth the cold maybe isn't a clue after all. It was just something he was going to put in if he happened to have been there with his bones.
The other effort worth the cold.
Because I got better.
What
It was
the
the-
answer?
He said, I got better.
Right.
The story changed because I got better.
Right. And he admits that he changed, I'd leave my bones and, he admits that change, but I wonder if your effort will be worth the cold was in relation to his bones originally. So anyway, Bill, what were you going to say?
Oh, there's dual meetings, double blazes. There's two blazes. The Moses is the spiritual one up on the bluff, and the physical chest is the cowl that was the Buffalo Cowboy car. In the word wood is cut out of the forest. If you look on Google Earth, and there's that's where I found the Buffalo Cowboy car, and it's a red Ford Model A, just like the Buffalo Cowboy car. His father on the bank goes to not a Model A. Georgia O'Keeffe in her Model A, doing her paintings, and anyhow, he was brave to lasso the buffalo, and he was barefoot, and so they crashed in the creek, and they got wet, and he had to walk home 4 miles in the cold, and he didn't realize how much fun it was till later. Your effort will be worth the cold. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be worth that cold and that memory of riding in that car.
And I'm with you on it. I totally am. But again, we're still at the point of what I want to really get at, which is the state of the chase. What's happening? Did this person find a chest in Wyoming? Did they find a chest somewhere else in the Rocky Mountains and they're not telling us? Is there a second chest? And that's because there are a couple Sauls out here where there's an adamant belief in being right and nothing to prove wrong, and a lot of interesting things that are worth investigating. And then there's also a side story that's been kind of lurking in the background of a second chest that hasn't gone away. No one's been able to disprove. There's a lot of weird things going on that, like, why am I going back to some, different theories and ideas? Because I don't know what's going on, guys. And so all ideas are on the table. That doesn't make anybody right or wrong. Okay. I'm putting that out there just to the chat. But something is up. And so I think it's time that everybody kind of takes a step back and goes, okay, then everything might be back on the table.
The stoof is a legal shield for the real finder. He's
Why go
protecting
through
the real
the process? Who took the pictures with Forrest Fenn then? Like, who's the body in the room with Forrest Fenn?
That's Jack. I photoshopped the thing with me and a mountain lion in it. Doesn't mean that we were in the same picture.
I'd like to add a comment if I could. Then I'd like to say that I don't think the guy in the picture with Forrest Fenn looked like the same guy in the picture with Copper Dan.
I've been down that road too, and I don't get it either. That does not look like the same person at all.
I have a cousin named Amy that looks just like
the height difference is like tremendous.
The height difference, the age difference. The man sitting across from Forrest Fenn looks like he's about 41 years old. And then the person sitting next to Copper Dan looks like he's about 23.
And I'm a fan of Copper Dan. I don't know why. I just looked at it objectively.
And the person sitting with Copper Dan honestly looks like the other pictures I've seen of certain photos of Jack Stoof, like the Facebook photos where he's at like the wedding. that looks like the same person who was with Copper Dan. It's just none of those people look like the same person who sits next to Forrest Fenn. And I've gotten yelled at for even taking that thought seriously. But again, anything's on the table. Something is strange is going on, and the people that could stop this haven't. Why?
Because there's still profits to be made.
Still profits to be made. That's always an option. Galaxy, what are your thoughts?
I was just thinking, you know, how we're talking about Dale and Cynthia. And what if they were just informed, just, you know, like maybe last year at some time, you know, after or right before they quit going on YouTube, about like, okay, you're going to be part of this now. You're going to release this in 6 months. Dale, you're going to release my fishing logs in a year. Maybe Pam was supposed to release that email just like she was, all to add mystery to the whole story, because you know how I think there's
Okay, then let me
the
ask you
real
this.
best.
Were they picked from the beginning, or were they picked after the fact?
I think it was like a work in progress.
420 in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado.
I think it all had to do, I think there was like a plan if Forrest just all of a sudden died, and then he also had one that he was constantly like evolving. And maybe that's why, you know, certain people think he was talking directly to them, because he kind of was, to, you know, add to the mystery.
Right. I think he was too. I used to hate the scrapbooks as an idea of he was talking to anybody. I thought y'all were nuts, but I changed my mind on that one. Whew.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Ben, that's the first thing I thought coming into the chase was, you know, my first thought was I didn't have a chance to find this thing because someone in the family already had an advantage over me.
I agree.
So that's why I
Or
wasn't
close to
fully
him,
into it at first.
a best friend, you know, a cousin of a best friend, you know, so the best friend doesn't have to find it, but like a cousin of a cousin of a cousin. You know, I figured that had already taken place. And if that hadn't found the chest, maybe it's not findable yet. Like I honestly thought both thoughts. If the people closest to Fenn, don't kid yourselves, they were looking. If the people closest to Fenn couldn't find it, how the fuck am I gonna find it? That's what I always ask myself.
Also, worth the cold was worth the cold shoulder waiting to get it.
I agree. That's also a possibility at this juncture. Worth the cold is the cold and literally waiting out in the cold for some kind of answer that eventually will come, but you're gonna have to wait a long time for it.
Waiting for your prize that you earned, and the cold shoulder because, well, I put a date on it, and you know, we got to get past this legal issue and that legal issue before you can have it.
Possibly, man. We just don't know. We don't know. I don't want to like completely agree with you. Be like, yeah, Bill. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
He put in there that that the real finder can't be notified until that date.
Possibly, it's a little cruel in my book. If that were the case, I'd call that very cruel. I wouldn't like that, but
it is cruel.
Ben, I wanna say something from the book. If you don't
please.
mind. I always thought this was weird because I felt like the person that would find it would know everything about him. But he says, I also wanted to include something personal with the treasure, because maybe the lucky finder would want to know a little about the foolish person who abandoned such an opulent catch.
Cash, yeah.
Cash, yeah.
Okay, so
Like
this
it's almost like the person that finds it is going to stumble on it, you know? Like that's something that you would say.
The lucky finder. I always hated that he would say lucky. I thought there was effort. They were gonna have to work for it, and you have to be lucky because he calls it a lucky find. Or are you just lucky because it's a lot of money and you're just? It's a very tricky line that he says that. Let me take it one step further. If you take quotes of Fenn talking about the turquoise ring, he will get into stating that the reason he puts the turquoise ring in is because, you know, that chest needed something of me in it. You know, I
And
looked at that thing and it
emerald
didn't have
ring.
anything. It didn't have anything of me in it. So, you know, it's only worth $300-400, but now I felt like that chest had something about me, and I could close the lid. Oh, really? I thought you put your hair in there in your biography. Why do we need the turquoise ring as something about you? I've always found that line weird too.
I never heard anything about any kind of turquoise ring.
Or not turquoise bracelet. Sorry, turquoise bracelet. Sorry, turquoise bracelet.
Okay, but no, that was the story about the hair. He clipped off his hair.
No, but there's another story where he said he equates all the personal stuff to
I know.
the turquoise bracelet. Why?
I'm just saying. Also, it was his hair. He put a piece of him. Except, is it his hair, or is it JFK's hair that Jackie clipped off while he was in his casket?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, why he doesn't need to be redundant here. He's saying there's nothing of him in the chest until he puts the turquoise bracelet in the chest. Does that mean that hair isn't his? Or did he forget he put the hair in there? There's something personal already. The hair with the story doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, yeah. When they called,
Why isn't his arrowhead in there?
Afternoons.
That's like the most personal thing. Why is it or isn't it? Right? Maybe it is.
The thing that started it all isn't in there.
You got to leave 2 hours earlier.
And why haven't we seen it, Ben? Why isn't the arrowhead in the book? I mean, I feel like that's one thing that I was looking for when I first started reading it.
Maybe the arrowhead was the blaze.
That's my ringtone.
That was a good ringtone.
Who can it be now? Who can it be now?
Madison Rat puts it kind of succinctly that everybody would, I think, feel like the only thing I want is the truth, to show that I'm not crazy. I need that for myself and others. Again, a lot of people even put themselves on the line to their families just to say that this thing was real. And the ending that we've gotten did not make any of them think that this thing was real more than they did before. In fact, less. So, you know, we're not going to stop. Sorry. We're not going anywhere. It's not happening. We have to see it. We're all pot committed. And if you can't see that on the other side, you're blind too. So we're all blind. It's the blind leading the blind here.
If you go to Jenny Kyle's,
it's a mess. It really turned into a mess, and it shouldn't have, I don't know.
Jenny Kyle.
I can't say what I would have done. I would have found that treasure chest either.
I don't know what I would have done either. I will admit that. What were you going to say, Bill? Jenny Kyle.
Jenny Kyle, 11/11/16. Forrest put her weekly words from Forrest was, he said, success is an omnipotent guru. Page 105 of Once Upon a While is the only man he called an omnipotent guru. And that's because he knew that's where Moses is. That's where Moses received the 10 Commandments. As he carved the perfect likeness of that Moses up there. And Moses has that brown spot in the back. He didn't change his underwear before he died or put her in the wood. He's made of pinyon pine. He fell over, the wind blew him over. He fell over, his hand broke off, and Forrest glued it back on there. He's a broken blaze, and he's a fake blaze because he's a replica of that one that Leo Salazar showed him. And I found that one that Leo Salazar showed him.
All right, Bill, let me ask you a question. Let's pretend for a second you're wrong. What's your favorite solve that isn't yours?
Do that.
No, we have to.
No, I have to. I for spiritual reasons, I have to believe in myself. I cannot accept any negative influences. If you're going to manifest something, you can't let the negative have control.
Well, I don't want to be the negative. So fair enough. Fair enough.
So
what about you? Galaxy, what's your favorite solve that isn't yours right now? What's the most likely spot it was at?
I really liked Kyle Sandow's solve, San Lazaro.
I've been hearing that a lot lately too. That'd be a ballsy solve, man.
Yeah. The thumb over Philadelphia thing. Okay, he covered up how many million people, 2 million, I don't know how many, millions of people, right? Or at least 400,000 people. So Forrest Fenn has us under his thumb.
That's interesting.
I got another comment about the book.
Yeah, go for it.
So Fenn was grand marble champion, right?
Yeah. Ooh, I like this. Go. Yes.
I think he was making the marbles. He was winning all the games. So I feel like he was fixing the games. He was making their marbles lightweight. Well, he had some heavy marbles that he carved. So like the game is rigged in his favor.
That's interesting. That'd be dope. I love that a lot, actually.
Yep, the game is rigged, and Mr. Gorman's just waiting to collect his treasure. Oh, Bill.
Okay, speaking of rigged, page 84 of Once Upon a While, my friend Bill Griggs, take the rig out of it. It's Bill G. It wasn't rigged, it was Bill G. A friend of mine.
I don't know, Bill. I don't go as far as you do with that stuff. I've heard you say that. I'm like, yeah, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I like the marbles though. Joe No Jones, what's my email? It's first initial last name at Gmail.
Oh, black and yellow one. I like that one.
Madison, listen to this. Madison Rat says, I personally have enough proof to get people to listen, including the press.
I left some marbles out there in my search area too. I'd leave 3 marbles here, 3 marbles there.
Ben, I also got to say too, that we're hearing from Dale that Forrest had a backup plan where he would send the would-be kidnappers up to Yellowstone. So are we just being fed like the
hijacker
backup plan?
The hijacker plan. Are we getting fed the hijacker plan? Well, I've thought long and hard about the hijacking plan. If Fenn himself was going to go up and be taken to the dude, then he has to be within driving or walking distance of the chest. He doesn't necessarily have to take him to the chest, but he has to at some point have an exit strategy or rip the cord plan of, oh shit, I'm not going to get rescued. I actually have to give these people the fucking chest if I'm going to stay alive. And so he actually has to be close to the chest. That's why I always thought the West Yellowstone backup plan actually puts him close to the chest, not at the chest, but close enough to the chest, because he's going to have to explain to them, because they're going to ask, these are kidnappers of the Forrest Fenn chest. Like they're going to know they're going to say what, they're going to make sure they're being taken to the chest and not to a trap. So they're going to say, how is this a clue? Is this what, explain where Water's Holt? Like, whatever. I've always wondered about that.
What if he really did have one to give him up there?
Well, then there you go. 2 chests. Nice pipe, Bill. I like it.
I got it from the Abenaki. It belonged to an Abenaki chief. And
fantastic, man.
The movie Northwest Passage is about my ancestors, the Rogers Rangers, and Robert Rogers' raid on the Abenaki village for kidnapping and scalping and killing English or colonists and stuff. They went and took revenge on the Abenakis. And so I've made peace with the tribe for the family for what my ancestors did, right? But I have the chief's Abenakis peace pipe from the chief of the Abenakis.
Love it.
I found this black feather. It needs.
I got one more thing to say. Marvin Fenn, I guess his favorite spot would be fishing up in Yellowstone, right? Or I assume.
Yeah. Looks
where
like a
did he-
fire hole.
Where did he choose to die?
Marvin,
Yeah, at home.
he get his home.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Forrest was there surrounded by all his artifacts. It was his favorite place with all his artifacts.
Yeah, and I think Forrest had a hard time not being able to be there on time because from what I remember, he flew out there to see his dad, but he was already late.
He said he kept that Moses statue, the wooden Moses, on the second step to his den, and they found him on the steps to his den. They thought he tripped on him and hit his head, but he was on the steps to his den in front of the wooden Moses. He died in front of the fake Blaze because he couldn't get out there where the real Blaze was.
Is that proven?
Huh?
Is that proof?
He was found on the steps to his den.
But you know that Moses is right above him.
No, he has a story. One of the scrapbooks that Moses is on the second step to his den, and he has pictures of Moses, and Moses is standing right on the edge of the step on the precipice. And there's
Bill, I'm pretty sure that was in the scrapbooks too. I think I saw that carving you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then fuck me.
The scrapbook has a picture of the backside of Moses that has that brown knot right in his ass, and that's why Forrest Fenn always wore clean underwear.
Hey, my Homer Brown was always about clean underwear, baby. I love that.
Homer Brown, yeah. Homer Skidmark.
Right.
Yeah, it's a carving. It's a carving made out of, it looked like a piece of birch wood, and it's in the form of like a Moses type figure.
And now if everybody's saying no, double omegas, well, you got to have double alphas.
The correct term is a holy person. It was a Native American thing.
You have two alphas, by the way. You have two alphas in the book.
Yeah,
Ed was an alpha and Skippy.
Yeah, Forrest was the alpha and the Finder's an alpha, but Moses was the alpha of his people. He was the leader of his people, so he was the alpha. And the Model A was the alpha, of course, because it's an A. You know, and yeah, Forrest, the Finder, there wasn't a lead searcher, there was an alpha searcher.
Possibly. We still don't know shit from Shinola. Bill's solve problem is that he uses OUAW for most of his solve. That book was all taken from the scrapbooks, not TTOTC.
No. A lot of what's in there was on his website that there was a link for in TTOC. You're supposed to follow that trail from the book to the website. He wanted you to come to his website and buy his books. He was advertising for his other books. How many of his other books did he no matter how many of the treasure hunt books, how many of his, Leon Gaspard and his Eric Sloan book, $17, how many of them did he sell by using the thrill of the chase as an advertisement for those others?
Exactly, yeah. He was probably a part of their affiliate program. He got a commission off of each book he sold.
And now he's so well known that anything in his collection doubled or tripled in price. Everything he had turned to gold. He had the Midas touch at that point. Yeah, he mentioned Pandora's box too. And the thing about Pandora's box is what that Moses figure, it's part of a whole lot more. There's a lot more carvings up there, and it's ancient Atlantis. and it transfers the start of civilization over to here instead of over in Europe and Asia. That's Pandora's box because it's going to change all history.
I like Davi B's comment. When FF said Wyoming, he wanted to say Yellowstone, but could not because Yellowstone went over the Montana border. Therefore, he had to say Wyoming. I get that, actually. I like that.
I like it too when they rewrite history and Bill Gorman's name's going to be over it because they found Atlantis in the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, as I tell people, I'm the Hiram Bingham of North America. He discovered Machu Picchu.
Did you guys see those footprints that they found in the White Sands missile range that are like supposed to be like 120,000 years old?
Yeah, I found one. I found a footprint that's like this big up here near Del Norte. And I was surprised where I found it. You pull off the highway and there's these signs. You know, about the area and what the BLM regulations and all that. And if you just go up the hill from those signs, there's this giant foot up there. And it's not impressed, it's sticking out of the rocks.
All you need to know, if you're a grave robber, is all the tombs face east towards the sun rising in the morning.
Yeah, Moses only comes out at sunset when the sun's setting at winter solstice. And that's the anniversary when he was shot down. He was shot down at winter solstice and resurrected by the helicopter the next day. Just, that's the story of the sun.
I mean, I call that a little. We're stretching terms here, but sure.
Yeah, because that's the Jesus thing, resurrection, and all has to do with winter solstice. That's why it's at Christmas.
That I get. I've always said Christmas is just a pagan holiday. It just has something to do with the winter solstice and the dying of the sun, and then the rebirth of it as the
the resurrection.
But still, my biggest issue with your solve and any religious solve is it's a religious solve. I've never seen anything why
he said he was spiritual, and religion would be if you were one religion,
But Moses, adhering to the story of Moses, is telling me the Old Testament is true, and then you're believing that's making a stand, and that's not spiritual anymore. You're closer to religion than you are spiritual
because it comes from further back than that.
I look at spiritual as it's more above the writings of man. Spiritual is I just believe in a higher power and whatever entities the universe shows to me. As all part of a bigger plan and bigger picture. That's spiritual. Reading parts of the Old Testament and going, the story of Moses is important, and blah, blah, that's less spiritual to me. That's more religious.
Goes back further than that because my Moses isn't parting the Red Sea. He's parting the Rocky Mountains. He's showing the passage over the Rocky Mountains that comes from the Colorado River system and the San Juan River, and they would ride. They'd take their canoes and people and put them on top of a mammoth, and the mammoth would carry their canoe and the people over to the Rio Grande River on the other side. And then they would float down the river. Lewis and Clark did the same river journey, except in Northwest Passage. And this is the Southwest Passage.
So you're saying that as a fact? You're not saying that as like a metaphor. You're saying you're saying it as a fact.
I'm certain that they came up the river in canoes. I found a rock carving where it shows the elephant, the mammoth, loading passengers into or taking them out of a canoe. I don't know what direction it's going, but it's at the place where they would, as far as they could get their canoe, and then they would load on the mammoth and go over to the other side. And so it's where warm and cold waters meet. The cold waters of the Pacific and the warm waters of the Atlantic meet at the Continental Divide.
I've always liked that as a warm water halt. Ghost Dancer, were you gonna say something or was it Galaxy? I couldn't see who was saying what.
I apologize. I was talking to Shots, my dog. She's needs to go outside. So she needs to go outside, so I have to step away for a second.
Never buy weed grown with chemicals. Gedelkin, that's excellent advice.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they get an organic store.
You gotta buy your weed organic.
Never buy one that says chem something, chem dog. Oh, I know. Yeah, no, thank you. I used to grow mine in rabbit manure.
That's the way to do it. I had a buddy who tried to do it in his community park where there was like a trail to do, like run around a man-made lake, and he tried to do it just in like a little forest, like of like 15 trees, and he just tried to do it in the middle of it. And he went back like 3 months later. He goes, "It's not working." I'm like, "No shit."
That was 19
trying it. It was a joke.
1920. I had a girlfriend at Chico State, and I go up there every weekend. And they were growing marijuana on the roof of the dorm buildings. That was back in the 78, 79.
Yeah, I sense Shots is ready for some Jack.
Hey, Jack, you want some?
The statement that has always left me thinking in circles was your best revenge is me wearing the bracelet, almost as if you've never had a chance to return it. You know, I always took that line of your best revenge is me wearing the bracelet because you'd be the one to cause that to happen. I'd be wearing the bracelet. You'd see it because you brought it back to me. That's how you have the best revenge. I think sometimes we take those words way too deep. I think that's all he meant.
Yeah.
Alan K., what if Jack never shared the real spot on Reddit like he said? Is that possible? Could he have that much foresight? Sure. If he's convinced he has the right solve, then yeah, absolutely. I think he does a little of both. I think he says my spot in the Madison, and I think he also hints that maybe he wasn't searching in the Madison. I think there's a little bit of both coming from that character. So would he have done more of an obvious?
And you gotta also respect the fact, and I'm not trying to be rude by cutting in on you, but
go for it.
You gotta respect the fact that spot is special to Jack now. And if he did really find that, I don't want, and that place is special to me now. I don't want anybody going there.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
That's something we don't talk about enough. If everything was legit, let's just pretend it was for the sake of argument. Jack found this spot. Nobody else has. Each time he could ever go there by himself, it's a testament to his own genius and Forrest's genius, and just those two together, and that's a bond he gets to have until he decides to share the location. So maybe he just wants to have that bond for a little bit, and then he'll share the location. Again, this is if we believe everything's true. There's logic to that. I'd buy that. You just don't know.
Have you seen Jack's articles on what can we call it? Cornholing?
I might have actually.
And BJ's.
Did you see his article on sperm donation?
Yeah, I mean, it's all, you know, and people try and act like I'm out there.
I mean, he went through the
My dad's name is Jack.
of the sperm donation process. I know all the ins and outs of what happens.
Every time someone says Jack, I automatically think they're talking about my dad or Bill or Bill's dog.
Yeah. And Forrest, he when I brought Jack to Fenbury 2019, he says, "What is your dog's name? I want to know what your dog's name is." Like he needed that information for something, not just he needed to know my dog's name.
Willie is, what did he say? Willie is retarded.
And Jack hasn't gotten any flowers from him yet.
William Suki the Third. You should have told him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the point. There's not one. I mean, I almost agree with it, Madison. The shit has been orchestrated to be where it's designed to send you in circles. It is. That's what I firmly believe. And if it's designed like that, it's like Oak Island.
It did.
No one's going to
It
that
did.
fucking effort. At
It was.
Oak Island
It was a
unless
lot. It was a
Huh?
lot more than circles, Ben. It was a lot more than circles. It was circles and emotional roller coaster.
Oh yeah, all over the place, just everything, and it's ridiculous. And it's
The
I'm
bank
over it.
stats were up and down pretty good too.
Have you seen them pictures where people they bend over and grab their ankles and a rainbow comes out of their butt? They turn into a prism when they make that triangle.
I don't think I've seen that. Five
Okay.
minutes, you can always skip ahead, bro. It's we're not. No one's breaking news ever on this shit. This stuff just happens. We talk, we figure it out. That's it, right? Like let's be real.
Actually, it was really good when people were actually trying to solve the poem in the book. It was awesome.
Hey, we had moments of that here too. Those are the
everyone
fun
was working
moments.
together then.
Well, hopefully we can get back there. I think we're at the start of something. Now we're kind of just sharing, the aftermath. It's a couple of beers after the mega rant that I went on and trying to get everybody together. Shit, we had Greg here, Brutal Truth. Everybody was cool. We all got to talking a little bit. There's a future here. Like, look at that. That reminds me of what I've wanted to tear my book Blinding apart all day.
Mine just fell apart.
You just fell apart.
And I just ordered a new one that I'm not going to write in. And so this one has my notes in it and shit like that.
Yeah.
So this one probably go in the museum.
Well, if you're redeemed, I hope so. It should go in the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the
that is
museum.
going to be some pretty high dollar memorabilia in about 50, 60 years.
I think the museum should have some of the other solves, that were done. I'm wanting to create an app that you can put in your location for your solve, and it tells you who else was there. Who
I like
else
that
was
too.
there?
That'd be fun.
Who else was looking in your place?
Packer Jack, Ben Madison, for Forrest to hide it there and be back in half a day, he had to borrow a plane from Cody to Wyoming, rent and borrow a car to 9 Mile, then reverse it. Actually easy to do in half a day. Yeah, I'd say it's easy to do in a full day. Especially if he's only walking like 500 feet to 1,000 feet, even if that includes a river crossing. Alan said, Forrest said the finder probably wouldn't know why it was special. He said he would let us know the solve when it was ended. He said he was ambivalent if it was found in his lifetime. I mean, Forrest said all those things. He did take it back a little bit and said, well, it's up to the finder. So he took something back at the very end. He did say, and I've never made sense of that. So I don't know what went wrong. And maybe that's Alan's point. What went wrong? I don't know.
What went wrong? Somebody actually found what he wanted found. He didn't think anybody would.
Thank you, babe. That's interesting.
And
why wouldn't he try to stop you then? Like,
now, what if he had a bet with somebody that nobody would find it before he was dead? And so finding it before he died, he lost his bet.
It's a fun story. I could see him capable of that, but I hope you have a reason behind that. Is there an email that talks about a bet?
Well, that would persuade him to keep it more secret.
I agree. That's a good narrative. I'd use that in a story 100%.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he tells. I bet I can put some clues out there, and nobody will figure out what it's talking about, and nobody will figure this out before I die. Somebody did figure it out, and when I brought the Buffalo Cowboy car to Fenbury, it has the bullet hole in it, the exit hole, just like the hat has the exit hole in it, and one of the people who knew that was the target item, that was the proxy item, told him, hey, there it is, you lost. and why did he brought mildew? He knew I was going to be there, and he brought mildew. Because he knew that I was going to be there. But he already told me
Mildew, if
to
anybody
take that.
watching doesn't know, mildew was Forrest Fenn's brown cowboy hat. Correct?
No, mildew was the white one with the hole in it and the barbed
Oh,
wire.
the white one.
Yeah.
Oh, the one where the hole looks like a shape of your choosing.
Yeah, and the thing with that, it's the same as that hat that Gus in Lonesome Dove wore. And
No, I love Lonesome Dove.
yeah, well, okay, we'll tell you here, Quanah Parker. Okay, C.E. Parker, the Wrangler in Lonesome Dove, was related to Quanah Parker. His mother was kidnapped by the Comanches, and she's the mother of Quanah Parker. Yeah, Quanah Parker is Moses on the Mesa. In the movie Moses
I don't
on
know
the
Lonesome Dove enough to follow you on that train, but I'll believe you.
and Lonesome Dove is Hat Creek Cattle Company, and we don't rent pigs. Was related to Quanah Parker.
Barb is here. What's up, Barb?
Was
Hi, how are
kidnapped by
you?
the Comanches, and she's the mother.
Hold on,
of
I hear feedback.
Echoing.
Parker is Moses on the Mesa.
Mute YouTube.
There we go. Hi.
Enjoying time, going crazy, trying to figure out what the heck's going on. How are you?
I'm good. I just saw you were on, and I
Hello.
thought I'd stop by and say hi.
Well, welcome. I went on rants today. We've been talking about Dale's drop that he did yesterday that has me in a tizzy with these fishing logs and the timing. Whether we believe it's Yellowstone or not doesn't matter. I'm just questioning why everyone's doing what they're doing right now, and I'm back at square one, which is, annoying.
Well, you know that I don't know if you saw my book discussions, but you do know that the this final solve area is in the scrapbooks, and that's a fishing hole. So the riddle is figure out the fishing hole.
I mean, I agree. I think that's
Actually,
the
the
case too.
fishing hole, all that stuff's in scrapbook 204. It was and he was talking about giving a clue if you could tell him where a picture that was taken of him was located.
I think it's actually
If you
scrapbook.
could tell him, if you could tell him where that spot was exactly, he would release another clue to the chase.
Maybe it was the rock that Skippy was holding. That's the spot he was waiting to hear.
Well, he tells you in the scrapbook, and I looked through the logs today. I was looking for something specific.
It's in number 204.
I thought it was
But that's the old website, and I didn't get any of that, so I can't confirm.
I thought it was 124. I thought I just copied and pasted it.
This is amazing coming from this. I'm sitting here going,
I'm pretty
I hate
sure it was
scrapbooks,
204.
so this is listening.
Was it 204?
Listening is funny. Were you all believers that scrapbooks were actually speaking to people?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think the scrapbooks were the free version to the thrill of the chase.
See, that's an interesting take that I wish I almost considered at the time. I stuck to old interviews that I read where he said, no, you need the poem and you need the map. And sometimes would say you need the book. And so I was saying, that's it. That's where I cut it off. I'm not doing anything besides that. So scrapbooks were immediately out for me. And so when I hear some of your guys' souls that involve, or at least, portions of them that involve scrapbooks or involve other things other than the thrill of the chase and the poem, I would always go, ugh. But now at this point, there's so many shenanigans abound, people messing with people in the chase that even some of you guys maybe have disagreed with along the ways here. But K-Pro really was getting messed with recently. That's a real thing that's happening and has been happening for years. And he's now slowly getting uncovered. But it's connected to other people that are getting messed with as well in ways they don't realize they're getting messed with.
Well,
And it's starting to be the same people, which is now adding up.
I think you have to lighten up about it. I mean, I got fake affidavits in the case. So
I mean, lighten up is relative. There are people who, at the very least, let's say the most innocent levels of intensity, have at least told their families, like, hey guys, this is real. I'm following a real treasure hunt. You have to trust me. Like, there are family members who are going, oh God, mom, dad, or brother, or sister, or son, or daughter is taking this a little too seriously. Who knows if it's even real? Like, those people have been almost laughed at or ostracized by their families. Like, those people are also getting fucked with by people apparently in charge of the chase. And that's too much. That's too much.
well,
I don't like that. And by the way, you're one who thought you got hacked right away and sued. Thank God.
that's because unlike other people, despite the fact I'm not on YouTube every day, I believe I'm the solver. So what am I supposed
Fair
to
enough.
do?
But you know what? And like I've said every time, that got us Jack Stew's name.
Yeah, I know. You've never attacked me. I don't have an issue with you.
I like that it got us Jack Stew's name. I certainly was not vocal, but I was only typing back then. I was certainly typing like, oh God, why are we suing? What does that say? Never throw shit. I can't read that.
At Aries.
Wait, at
So-
Aries, like the
Yeah,
star
see,
sign?
there's one turd next to the Aries, and there's a pile of shit on top of the guy that threw it at him. K-Pro threw shit at people and doesn't like it when somebody throws it back.
Whoa.
I can attest.
Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up. The whole point of this was to bring people together, not to keep talking shit about people, right?
No, I'm just saying that's the fact. That's what happened.
Whether it's what happened or not, I think people have perspectives on things that have been jaded, both on whatever side you want to talk about or look at. I think everybody's perspectives have become a little jaded as the end of this chase happened or the perceived ending happened. And those thoughts got amplified the longer this weird ending extended. And the weirder it got, the more intense everybody's thoughts are getting. So I think there's a lot of people here who were getting along a few years ago that could still be getting along now. And I think everyone, including like Bill, when you're talking about K-Pro, take a breath. Like, I'm trying to get people back together. I'm trying to have Bill come on the show from Brutal Truth. I'm talking with Barbara. I never thought I'd talk with Barbara. This is a fun day for me. Like, let's get the more we all start talking together, the better. I've seen so many personalities here and so many smart people that maybe are super close to some crazy ass story that really is here that we couldn't believe until we actually see it. And we're all part of it in some way, shape, or form, or you guys are. But if my role is to help you fuckers come together, then fine, that's what I'm gonna do. But let's immediately, let's not just go, oh, K-Pro flung shit, so she should not expect shit to come. Of course, okay, whatever. Let's just move on from that. That's all I'm saying.
I think that's a very valid point. But I think that you, as I've noted on my own videos, and Pam is seeing now, there's a valid point to talk about cyberbullying. And I get it that like you're trying to like move beyond that, but you have to also remember you weren't in my shoes for all that time. And it's
Right.
To me, it's sort of like it's like the character from Caddyshack. Was it Spalding, where he's like basically whines and he wants a hamburger. No, I want a cheeseburger. And then the judge says, you get nothing, and you like it. It kind of just reminds me of like, what is all this like high level energy, like garbage? Where I came from, you say please and thank you. Would you share, that kind of stuff. And so anyway, I think people need to bring this back down to this is a funny solve, but it's not a disgusting, foul-mouthed solve. And I know I've sworn, but you have to understand, if somebody calls you terrible, disgusting names, and you're not hiding behind a fake account, it's gonna tick you off. Right?
That's fair.
Okay.
But again, if I look to my left, I have someone who's convinced they're right. If I look to my right, I have somebody who's convinced they're right.
But there's nothing
If I
wrong
look
with
at
that.
myself, but that's where we're. I think everybody can be proven what in any way they want to be proven if we come together and stop yelling at each other and bickering.
And I've always said, you know what? Say your solve. Have fun with your solves. Have positive energy. We're gonna get an end. Okay, why did I voluntarily dismiss the case? It's not like I didn't know what I was doing. I voluntarily dismissed the case because I saw a prank ending,
Interesting.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't kick up the case and add a fraud count. I
Right.
said, oh, he writes, as you guys noted, sperm book stories and all these goofy stories. He's a spoof writer. So it's not like I'm an idiot. And so everybody should be having fun with their goofy solves and waiting for the conclusion. That was my point.
I was in junior high school art class, and this is a typical scenario. You're in art class, girl throws clay at you, you pick it up, you throw it back, you get kicked out of junior high school, summer school, because you threw clay at the girl, but nobody ever seen her throw it at me first.
Are you suggesting I threw it at you, Bill? Because I don't think it's consistent with my recollection.
No, this is a true story of what happened in 1970.
Well, I do agree with the fact that this has just become absurd, like in terms of this childish shit. And like, again, like I'm sitting at home, like over like the holidays, and I've got all these wackos calling and not understanding what was in my head. Well, you weren't with me. And I can tell you, in my opinion, the Wyoming thing is nonsense. I could tell you that this is, if you are seeing fake LLCs, I saw a fake affidavit in my case, filed in my case. And it was this person who gave a fake address, all this goofy stuff. And somebody was playing with the file. And so between that and the post-fine entries, I said, okay, I was played with. I'm gonna let this ride out.
Hey, Barb, I got a question for you.
Sure.
First of all, I am a huge fan.
Well, you weren't a huge fan of me back in the day.
No, like right now, like I honestly wake up in the morning and I go straight to YouTube and I look up your name and I just want to see you are like.
You hated my guts back in the fall. You mocked me every opportunity you could.
But you know what? This is what we're talking about. People coming together. People come together.
But I do actually, I've always wanted to actually have talks with you because I've always paid attention to you when you stepped into the scene. So like, there's one thing that I've really wondered about everybody. It is that when do you think the chest is earned? Is it currently being earned or has it already been earned?
I think it's been earned and I think it's been solved. And I think that they're doing something. And you haven't seen, I don't, if you read the post-find announcements as I did while I was trying to figure out what the heck happened, I think that somebody's making fun of me. Sorry. I think that if you read it as I did,
negative or is it lighthearted?
They're making Eva Braun jokes like "Don't cry for me, Argentina." So I just like want to burst out in song here. So
well, and
okay, that's all right.
It's an actual serious question.
I should just not look.
Let's get back to the question.
So put yourself in
not
my
to
shoes.
worry too much about chat.
Yeah,
I'm sure there are a lot of people on there venting right now.
Yeah,
hey, how about just shut the chat down and enjoy the show?
Yeah,
and then
I know. So you have to put yourself in my shoes back in the post-fine announcements, and there were jokes relative to me, and like the reasonable doubt, which you all pried into, or not all of you, but people did, and there were beyond reasonable doubt. That was a joke that I understood. The doctor joke I understood. The English major joke I understood. So when and then Jack says, something that somebody says at the point, it's not a Hollywood ending. And to me, that said, they're working on something. What that is, I don't know. But I think that's consistent with my belief that it was a prank end and something fun is going to happen.
So I'm still unclear, like, so it's already been earned. So currently events are not affecting the end result. It's like it's already been earned, is what you're saying?
I think they are.
Well, no, and I'm wondering this because, and this goes in my case too.
It
Barb,
doesn't change it.
because I sit in the
think, yeah,
same,
nothing changes.
I sit in the same boat you do, and quite honestly, all of us kind of do. And I can elaborate what I mean by my question is
Okay.
if it's already been earned already,
Mhm.
how unfair would that be if the person that earned it passed away? Would it go to their children because it's already earned? Would it go to the next of kin? Or is it being earned still currently? Like this is still an ongoing game where
No.
people are trying to get attention.
No.
Not saying
Yeah,
you,
like,
but
what
I'm
if
just saying
something were to
everybody.
happen to you?
What?
Yeah, that's a weird, but yeah, I was gonna say that's a strange loophole to exist if the finder has to wait. What happens in the event something happens to the finder or the earner while they're waiting? Then what?
Yeah, I mean, if it's already been earned and they got into a car wreck 12 months later, oh, I guess it goes to the next in line. I don't understand that.
I think that you have to remember that if you're in the shoes of the person who has made progress, and why would there be a scrapbook dump if Forrest truly didn't want the chest to be found? Okay, if he wanted it to be for his lifetime, our lifetime, etc., why do the dump? Well, he was clearly talking to someone, which should tell you right there that the scrapbooks meant something.
Yeah,
And
I agree with you.
right, and so something had happened, and he was trying to communicate to that person, but to everybody, because he doesn't give private hints. You never can trust any private emails. You can never trust any private discussion. So therefore, if he led you along that path to that point to guide you, why would he then pull the rug from you? And so you have this weird end if you're in my shoes, and you say to yourself, well, gosh, here I am, scrapbook dump, blah, blah, blah. And so that's why you have to have some trust. So this is going to come back to trusting Forrest. If you put yourself in the shoes of the person who knows where to go. Okay. But the problem is the person who knows where to go understands that the Fenn family is trying to tell a story. And so you all have to just cheer up from my view. And I don't, oh, she's crazy, blah, blah, blah. Baloney, 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 baloney. I'm certainly not crazy.
So we're still like currently so in your perspective, and I'm honestly trying to figure it out because it'll help me process as well.
Right.
So in your perspective, like there's still currently info coming out that you have to collect?
No. I've been told, no, what I learned through the lawsuit was, and I think I saw this as I skimmed through the video before I jumped on, there are not two chests. There's not, I think the clear message was they wanted this chase to end, and that you should believe that you shouldn't go searching again. I received an email, I forget who it was from, but I was told affirmatively, there are not two chests. Okay, because that rumor's been out there for years and years and years.
You were told that by Jack's lawyer.
I don't remember if it was Jack's lawyer or Carl, but one of the two very clearly told me that. And so I'm sure the point of that was to communicate that to everybody so that nobody would, potentially hurt themselves. I mean, you have to remember all this drama.
Hold on. To be clear, anytime, not to interrupt, sorry, but
No,
I
that's
did
okay.
interrupt. Wow,
I have a tendency
my
to
bad.
talk too much. Sorry.
I have ADD, so if I don't say it, I'm gonna forget it, which I already am right now. So anytime, if I'm not mistaken, because again, I peruse your videos. I don't like to watch other people's videos about you, so I don't go there. But I like to watch your videos from time to time. Have you said that you met with Fenn and talked with, or at least the family? Like, any time they spoke to you, are you saying if they told you that you weren't the finder, that was part of whatever joke is the larger narrative that's going on.
So the
Then
story,
don't blame it on the ADD. It's all that good bud you're smoking.
Maybe that too. Sorry, Barb. Go.
no, so my point to that story is that he doesn't give private hits. And I had this conversation with somebody the other day when they were in town. And so it doesn't matter if you're the solver or if you're on a wild goose chase somewhere random. If you're on a wild goose chase somewhere random, he's going to tell you, if you're in private, oh, that's a great idea, right? Good idea. If you're on his trail, he's not going to tell you you're on his trail because that's against his rules. So that was the point of that story that I told, which was I had already seen, in my opinion, the fake Blaze. And when I met him, here's this man telling me, like, where have you been? And I tell him, and he says, never heard of it. And so I dropped out of the chase. And it was only until that scrapbook with the Baby It's Cold Outside that I came back in. So I'm just saying, forget this whole concept that I was Forrest's friend. This is a treasure hunt. We were always on the same level. It doesn't matter who you are. He's going to tell you a lie if you meet him in private or if you email him in private. It doesn't matter.
So, but Barb,
Agreed.
I
like that.
I think he was speaking to me through those scrapbooks.
Well, everybody feels that way, right?
I think that, and I think that I'm right.
That's okay. You can feel that way.
It is exactly, because it's not just me. Secretly, everyone that's still in this parking lot
Right.
after hours thinks the same way.
Right.
So I mean,
Hey, none of y'all talked to that MFer in a bar in like 2009. Okay, boom, I win. He's talking to me.
He probably sent you 500 miles in the wrong direction.
Well,
but I
didn't even do the damn chase for a decade. So there you go.
There you go.
So I mean, and I've listened to your, like, when you were doing your book stuff before the drama really hit.
Yeah.
And I was actually interested because you did a full circle on every topic. You searched every peg in that wheel to have a storyline for every all the way from just from spiritual to esoteric to, like, you took it all the way around the wheel. Like, you covered yourself completely on each one of those topics. And a couple of them like tapped into my stuff, and I was like, whoa, where's this lady coming from?
See?
You've done your homework.
I'm hacking ya.
You have. And I've always respected that part of it. You've always done your homework, but yet it just seemed like I would just like to hear your one solve that you're going to weave out of each one of those topics that that's what I'm curious on, because as of right now, you can literally have backup for 100 different solves.
But you forget it's all photographed.
Yeah, and so I'm interested to see your bookworm skills going through all that.
No,
Okay.
I mean, of course it was intentional, and of course I'm being purposely vague. And I just don't like that, right? So that's all I can do at this point, And I believe in good faith that I know the answer to the riddle, and but I guess the feisty Irish side has had me respond back to people,
My feisty Irish side had me pretty upset with you at the fact
here's what I think needs to happen.
Oh, then I have a criticism.
Yeah,
Wants to say something.
I don't have a problem with you now, but when your lawsuit first came out, I was upset because I felt like Forrest was too old to be putting up with all this kind of crap. And I thank you for what you did in the chase, because you brought some things to light. I mean, I don't know if it's a real finder out, you brought his name out into the public eye, whether he's real or not. So you played a pretty significant role, and I can't be mad at you anymore, really,
Thank you. I mean, I certainly never anticipated. I mean, you have to understand, I'm a pretty quiet person. Somebody mocked me for my low YouTube counts the other day. I'm very quiet. You know, I go on to.
We've all seen you, Barb. You are not quiet.
No. I mean, I'm not quiet now. I'm not quiet now. Don't. I mean, I argue today on Zoom all day. Don't get me wrong, but you know, my normal nature is not to like obsess over electronic media. And so somebody was mocking my YouTube page as if to suggest I was a character. No, I just don't do this whole. The only reason I'm on YouTube is for this. Like that's it, or to look at like a cookie recipe.
I'm happy that you stepped out and you're here again. Like, I'm actually happy for that.
Well, I'm trying to get back to like doing the next book, and people said, "Oh, she's just bullshitting. You know, she doesn't really want to do the next book." No, I'm happy to do the next book. I just am pissed off that I keep getting pranked every day.
Well, you get distracted and you just need to don't worry about it and it'll go away.
I'm wondering how much Forrest had to put up for a retainer to cover all of the post chase stuff.
Hey, and I helped some of that too, Bill. I helped a lot of that by trimming.
Yeah, cost him a lot of money.
No, it didn't cost. I didn't cost him a lot of money. Not at all.
He already.
Hold on.
In my honest opinion, with all the lawyers and everything that were involved with, that's what makes me feel like a judge ordered Forrest to end the chase.
No, I don't think that's what it was. I think that he wanted to tell the story, and perhaps we'll have to find out whether it was truly retrieved or whether it was really out there or not, you know, but I don't, I think between the lost people who were doing crazy things and you know, the fact that he felt it was solved, and the fact that he wanted to tell a story, I think were really the main factors, is my guess, but we'll have to hear from the family to tell us.
Isn't the whole point of a treasure hunt to find the treasure?
Well, you know what? What if it was me, just hypothetically, and like I'm blind as a bat? Like if it was me and I walked over it 50 million times, or I had a $200 metal detector, you know, and by the way, like the encouragement was to do it by yourself in every possible mechanism. What if it was like this blind, technologically, you know, but smart person out there looking like an idiot? Maybe he tried to help me or someone else, you know? So you don't know the answer yet. Until you know the answer, don't throw stones.
So, I mean, 6 people have died. I don't think he's just gonna play around and say, oh, you never had to go out and get it yourself, actually.
Well, I think there was that pressure though. And I think, don't forget that it wasn't really, the area wasn't found until the fall of 2019 with the scrapbook dump.
I wonder about the possibility that it was already supposed to be released to the finder. But when lawyers are in control of a trust or an estate or anything, something, they're like, oh, I'm making lots of money. As long as this keeps going, I can keep draining that, and eventually there will be nothing left.
But it's not in the estate, Bill. That's why I asked.
No, yeah, he signed it off before he did his last will. He already signed the documents in 2017 because.
Okay, hold on. This is perfect timing. All right, everyone stop.
It was found in 2016. He signed it off in 2017.
Bill, you have your thoughts, and you're adamant. This is perfect. Barb has her thoughts. She's adamant. I think this is a perfect opportunity for a gentleman and gentlewoman's bet, where you two put something on the line here of who's right, because not both of you can be right. We've thought about this, yes? Yes.
Well, I already have Jason. I already have Jason dressing up as
exactly.
Dorothy.
I have to dress as a sexy Dorothy if I lose, and that's why I'm so interested in her solve, because I too believe it's all about a very large banana and a very small banana, and an apple sitting right next to it.
And I saw Bill's.
They go very big or very small. Middle's boring.
and everything in between. So like, I'm interested. So but you have to, what's your costume going to be if I lose or if I win?
What should it
You
be?
know-
You have to name it. And like
You know-
it's not like I haven't been.
You
in
have
it.
to dress like, and I'm going to say this.
Well, I'm chubby, don't forget. So you can't make me do anything goofy.
No. It's nothing just, this is all in good nature.
Yeah, good nature.
all around.
Good nature.
Nothing that's
Nothing.
going to embarrass anybody in any way.
Right.
But a
You-
penalty for
Dressed
being
up
wrong.
like Dorothy is pretty embarrassing. What do
He
you
did that
guys?
to himself. He
Not
did
for
it.
me
That's
though.
what-
I got it.
Whoa. Maybe we stay in line with this Wizard of Oz theme.
I'll
So
be,
Barb, pick a character.
I'll be
You a monkey.
Toto.
You have to be a monkey.
No, that's
Toto.
carved out already. We've carved that out a long time ago.
Okay.
Toto. Toto's fine. Toto,
Toto,
done.
I'll be
If
Toto.
you are not right, and it's proven you're not right, that and what's a reasonable time when we're doing this?
Well, we have to wait-
a
we have to
World
wait.
Series of Fenn. You have to show up at the next World Series of Fenn. Whoever loses here, you have to show up at that next World Series of Fenn in costume with Jason as Dorothy, as whatever you are from Wizard of Oz.
But what if it's still not out yet? What if we're still waiting?
2
Hopefully
years
not, God
later, but
forbid.
Barbara, we're all going to still
have
be
World
here.
Series. Guess what? We're all going to be here 2 years later. then.
Exactly. We're still going to be here. What are you talking about?
What is Bill going to be, given that Bill just put a banana bread video out about me?
banana bread. That was banana nut cake.
Nut cake. Uh-huh.
All right, guys,
So-
it's 4:30. We got any final thoughts? Because
All right,
I'm going to cut this
goodbye.
off because
I'll-
football's coming up.
No.
So
All right, I'd like everybody to come back more often. Barb, you're always invited on, please. I'll buy you a drink if I ever meet you in Santa Fe one day. Jason, as
Okay.
usual.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
All right, see you later, Ben.
You know what? You know
See you,
what
Barb.
bikers do when they have a tie in
Send
a
me an
beauty
email, Barb.
contest?
Send me an email so we can start chit-chatting. What, Bill?
You know what bikers do when they have a tie in a beauty contest?
I have no idea.
They have a fuck off.
I'm good. Thank you very much. We all saw
All right, Barb.
anyway, you all got my point. Goodbye. Bye.
Take it easy.
Bye, Barbara.
I take it easy. Yeah, who are the Cincinnati Bagels playing tonight? Ben?
I just ran a fantasy crunch on it.
The symptomatic
Jaguars.
bagels, seriously.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Thursday Night Football, bro. I have 191 lineups. I have
There's really a team called the
191 lineups.
Symptomatic Bagels.
The Cincinnati
Cincinnati.
Bengals.
I swear he said never mind.
Symptomatic Bengals.
Yes, bagels.
You know what,
Like, what are the
Jason?
symptomatic
I couldn't
Hey,
bagels?
I could.
that's the subtitle for Tiger King 2.
I just took
Coming out.
a really big rip.
Man, he
Oh,
just
he took a
went
big
down
rip.
a digital whirlpool.
Yeah, he did. He took a.
Isn't that what Bart Simpson's dog hears when people are talking to him?
Well, I thought it was more like Charlie Brown. I thought it was more like a. Like more like that.
Oh yes, with Snoopy.
I love when they do dog vision in The Simpsons. I think that's perfect. If ever there was an accurate representation of what a dog probably sees and hears, it's probably Simpsons.
I wonder what
Anyway,
people
last
thought.
thoughts, guys, because I got to go get ready for football.
The drive-through Domino's and they give Jack pepperonis when I go there, and so they're reaching out. I'm wondering what the people behind me, and the dog's head comes out of the car. He gets the pepperonis at Domino's. You know, I just let him. He climb up, and they give him pepperonis. If you bring your dog to
I
the
switched
Domino's
sides. I'm actually
drive-through.
I'm actually a Pizza Hut man myself now. I've switched sides. Domino's sucks.
So
Jason?
Ben, can I get
Hey.
penciled in for an appointment with a shaman and a medium at the same time?
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a little bit less. I'll give you Ashley with me, and I'll tell you my shaman story.
Okay.
Deal?
Yes. Well, text me.
Sounds like a ghost dancer radio after dark
Yeah.
story.
Well,
I'll
text
do it.
me
I'll do it live if we want to do it
Text me a
live.
hard time.
I don't care. You want to
Go
talk
ahead.
private? We'll talk private too, man. Yes. And by the way, Yeah, no, like honestly, just text offline. We're good.
Yeah. we're good.
Galaxy, any last words? Galaxy is muted. I don't know if Galaxy knows that they're muted. I accidentally muted them. And I've been clicking ask to unmute like for 100 times. Galaxy, if you're there, unmute yourself. Bill is smoking out of a fantastic pipe. Ghost
Wait, when
Dancer,
did
any
you
other
mute
last words? Ooh, Galaxy.
When did you
I
mute
did-
me?
My
I
last
think I
words
don't
are,
know, man. I looked at your name and it said ask to unmute. And I was like, huh, it says that. I'm pretty sure I clicked that like a while back, but whoops. Have you been muted this whole time for like 20 minutes?
I thought I was just talking a little bit ago. People were answering me, so I think I was good.
Yeah, no, I thought it must have been a misclick. Anyway, any last words, Galaxy?
Nope. Good show though.
I like it. Perfect.
good show.
Any
Have a
last
good
words,
night,
chat?
everybody.
Hold on. Before we stop. Chat has been, I've seen a lot of ads and I've been ignoring a lot of them. I just want to cover some things before we go, just in case. All right. So anybody who added me, I will answer real quick. Kind of distracting when you alternate between come together and Jack donating sperm. Packer Jack, I said come together against the powers that be. And I consider Jack part of the powers that be. So Jack's not on our team. I do not consider Jack on our team, not with his actions. So
He can donate all the sperm he wants if he's at 9 Mile Hole.
we're talking about articles he wrote and is in the public that the Condor itself talks about. Okay, Jack did this. And Jack doesn't respond. So, okay, there you go. But Packer Jack, you know I love you. And then hi, everybody say hi.
Hi.
Chasing Indy. I know for a fact Fenn wrote a $15,000 check for Venetti's to make him an exact replica of his chest. I've heard these similar things as well. Very fucked. There's lots of weird shenanigans going with multiple chests, duplicates, copies, all that shit. Becky's ask Barbara if she will smoke a bowl with the community. Whoops. Ask Barb or Bill or both how only one or neither can then be correct. Well, we talked about that. We have a bet going now. We got to have it. Bill, you have to pick before we go. You have to pick who you're going to dress up as if you lose, sir. Hold on. Think about that while I read the rest.
Before she started searching, it was already solved.
Well, neither here nor there, sir. This is a bet of gentlemen and gentlewomen. You don't get to dress up like an elephant if you lose. You have to pick a character from Wizard of Oz.
I've been
Anyway,
the
Dark,
elephant
please
for 5
ask Barbara,
years.
we know that. Alan, there's a big difference between gold fever and delusions of grandeur. Ah, God, is there? They're almost the same thing. Lucky Digger, what about the fact that Forrest Fenn told her twice that she was wrong? We addressed it. She thinks it's a joke. Dark, dozens of people would volunteer to have their solve videotaped on the record, but it doesn't mean it's correct. I would agree. You've never seen me agree with anybody's solve here. I think that was it. Okay, I'm sure everybody else tried to talk to me, but you didn't at me, so I didn't see the colorful little orange thingy. Czar, DraftKings, goddamn right, DraftKings. And that's a wrap, folks. All right, everybody, are we good? We're good. Yes, I might go on tomorrow, same time, same place. I don't know. Who knows? Goodbye, everybody.
Good
Yeah,
night.
and I think I know who has Venetti's.